And welcome back to Fox NFL Sunday. Today, Brett Favre and the Packers battle the defending champion Patriots, and both teams have real concerns. New England has lost 2 in a row, while Green Bay is extremely banged up on defense. Brett Favre, however, has had something else on his mind this week, the R word. No, not another ring, but retirement. And that's why this could be his last chance at being super. Pam Oliver has more in her. Hello, Pam.
Yourself, JB. And where you guys are so silly. Let me just get that in. Where Brett Favre, his wide receivers are concerned, he's really had to start from scratch there. After the Packers let Antonio Freeman, Corey Bradford, and who am I thinking about? Billy Schrader walk. Favre was forced to break in a whole new set of guys. It's still a work in progress, but so far, the gunslinger pretty happy with his new targets. He calls them the most physically gifted set of receivers he's ever had. And in all his years in Green Bay, Brett Favre has had some notables.
Sterling, Antonio, Keith Jackson, Robert Brooks, on down the line.
Now he's got Terry Glenn, talented target who's checked his considerable baggage at the door.
You can't say enough about what he did Monday night. I said, now that is why we brought you here.
I'm very, very happy. Just the atmosphere and the things that it has allowed me to do, it has allowed me to grow in the way I wanted to grow.
There's the fourth-year Packer Donald Driver, a fearless seventh-round wonder who rose through the ranks and emerged as a Favre favorite.
The things that receivers are asked to do, they come natural to Terry, whereas Donald had to work to achieve those. And man, has he ever worked hard.
I turned down a lot of money, but the thing was, in my case, is if I can play with a great quarterback and win a Super Bowl, that's the biggest show for me right now.
Rounding out the group, a second-year guy who earned his quarterback's ire last season. But Robert Ferguson hit the books and hit the ground running this season. Rookie Javon Walker was the Packers' highest receiver drafted since Sterling Sharp in 1988.
It's been a rough road for me, but I think it's a daily process for me because the year I had last year was a lot of things went on, so it's just been a daily process with me and Brett, you know.
I think I'm still the fastest, though. You know, we talk about that. Yeah, right. You know, I think I can take any one of them.
Terry, you guys competitive among yourselves?
Very. I think each guy look at each other and we go out there and practice and try to model ourselves or find things that we can make ourselves better at.
And if we go out there and we're not focused on what we have to do, then nothing's going to turn out great for us. But that's the only way you can get in this doghouse is by not playing ball.
Me being the young guy of the group, you know, I feed off of their adrenaline. You know, if Terry, Donald, or Robert makes a big play, I felt like I had to make a big play.
Being on the receiving end of a Favre bullet is something these guys hope will last a good long time. He brings out the best in them. A few broken fingers seems a small price to pay.
He throws it pretty hard, you know, and looking at Driver's fingers, you know, he got a couple broken fingers.
Sorry, I apologize. No love, but it's the middle finger.
I'm just getting started.
I apologize. I mean, it's not what I'm trying to do. Excuse me, but it's the middle finger. I'll show you like this.
That's better.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's pretty ugly. You got some ugly hands.
I've played with a lot of guys, broke a lot of fingers, done all that stuff, but just when these young guys come in and think, he can't throw it, I just have to wake them up a little bit, give them a little eye-opener.
The Patriots well aware of Favre's eye-opening ability. Safety lawyer Malloy told us that it's really important for the guys in the secondary to stay disciplined today, not leave their zones too early because of Favre's tendencies to perhaps throw the ball into coverage. But also, JB, Malloy has emphasized that as far as the Terry Glenn factor goes, he cannot be their primary concern. Of course, they want to stop him, but so far, Brett Favre has done a great job spreading that ball around, and receivers have been responding quite nicely. That's it from here. Back to you.
Hey, Pam, and segueing from the Terry Glenn factor, you know Andy Rooney sends his love as well, right?
Oh.
No, that's true. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Hey, Terry. I like that look, Pam. Terry, visualize this. Pam and Jillian in a cat fight.
Oh. Speaking of a fight today, Howie, Green Bay at New England. New England's banged up defense. It could be an ugly day.
New England's defense is right now battered and confused. They can't figure out what they want to stop. There's 11 holes in the dike, and they have 10 fingers. Kansas City pounds them for over 200 yards. San Diego pounds them for over 200 yards. Last week, they decided, hey, we're going to buckle it up. We're going to play the run. We're going to stop the run. They hold Ricky Williams to 2.9 a carry. but they hold the ball for almost 40 minutes and wear them out in the second half. Wear them out. This is a team right now that needs to find themselves on offense and on defense.
Hey, Howie, they got wore out on the other side of the ball as well. They tried to run the ball to start the ball game and got stuffed. So this week, they'll go right back. They're going to be spreading them all over the field. They're going to be throwing it down the field. They got a soggy field. That'll hurt the pass rush. And they're going up against the Green Bay defense. Got 4 new starters and a bunch of secondary guys limping around. They'll throw the ball at least 50 times a day.
I don't get this coaching stuff. Let me give you an idea. You remember this guy up in Minnesota that got the head coaching job at Baltimore, Brian Billick. Now, this guy goes in there. He's a so-called offensive guru. And all of a sudden, they don't do so hot, and they lose their quarterbacks. The poor little Trent Dilfer quarterback them, so they have to run the football and play great defense. And Lord, behold, what happened? They won themselves a Super Bowl. Then this guy up in New England, what's
Belichick.
Yeah, he coaches these guys last year in New England. They run the football, and what? Play great defense. And what they do, people? Won them a Super Bowl.
Amen.
Hey, wake up. You're throwing the ball twice as many times as you're running it. What's his name again?
Belichick.
Belichick. Get back to doing what won you a Super Bowl. These people are crazy. I'm going to lose my mind.
His offensive line's not good enough to knock anybody off the ball.
Well, Jimmy, they didn't get same bunch they had last year.
As we segue, let me tell you, that's a case of linear,
I need a pill of some kind.
thinking.
You're
The
obviously
Cowboys tried a risky fake field goal last week, and let's just say it didn't work out too well. Jimmy Johnson hits the Fox field to show you when you run the fake and when you don't. And then we'll hear from another smart coach, the Redskins' Steve Spurrier. He's bright enough to know that Patrick Ramsey, the rookie out of Tulane, is his.
Microsoft, providing software to help businesses be more agile. In Week 5, the Chiefs' Priest Holmes demonstrated why he's one of the premier running backs in the NFL as he caught Trent Green's pass for the winning touchdown.
Inside the 10 to the 5, he dives, touchdown, Kansas City.
Jets linebacker number 51, James Darling.
And this rain has hit this area for several days, and the field has not been covered. In fact, yesterday, the New England Revolution played a soccer match here, and as a result of their tie, will play in the Major League Soccer Championship game. But the field appears to be in good shape. Bill Belichick, who feels his team has to come up big in every area, is not satisfied with anything the Patriots have shown the last 2 weeks. And Mike Sherman, who grew up and was born in Norwood, just 7 miles from this stadium, coming back home as the Patriots will get the ball first. Ryan Longwell kicking off, and Patrick Pass will keep it in the end zone for the touchback. So we can expect a lot of slippery moments in this game. Tom Brady leading the Patriots, and it is another patchwork offensive line as Stephen Neal is starting at right guard for Joe Andretti. And Druzy, the former Packer, Antoine Smith, Deion Branch, the exciting rookie, is starting, but we will see Troy Brown at wide receiver. Christian Fourier is the tight end. And Troy Brown lines up as the 3rd wide receiver on first down for the 20, and on a quick screen to Troy Brown. He is knocked out of bounds after getting 7 yards on the play. And Marcus Anderson, the rookie, knocking him out. So the crowd cheers Troy Brown on his return after missing 2 games. The Packer defensive line is also banged up as they are missing Joe Johnson and Bonnie Holiday earlier. These are the linebackers with Wayne Nickerson and Niall Diggs. And the secondary really depleted. McBride again starts at cornerback, and rookie Marcus Anderson for Darren Sharper at free safety. 2nd down and 2, and Brady passing out of the backfield to Mark Edwards. And the Patriot fullback gets the first down, tackled by McBride.
Well, that's a good way to start for the New England Patriot offense, and they come out, they get the ball to Troy Brown right away, who's missed the last 2 ball games, playing today with a brace on that knee. It'll be interesting to see how that affects him. He's been trying to practice the last couple of weeks with it, but then coming back to Mark Edwards for the first down.
And the Packers with a base defense featuring Rod Walker at one defensive end spot and Aaron Campman, a rookie, at the other. And 1st and 10 on the 32, and Brady getting time, and the pass caught underneath by the tight end Fourier, and he is very close to a first down. Again, Marcus Anderson, the rookie free safety on the tackle. So the Patriots, to no surprise, come out throwing. And a gain of 10 yards it is a New England first down as Troy Brown comes back in.
And I think the Packers look a little confused with all their new players in the secondary back there. They're just not reacting very well at all to some of these early passes.
They've had a short work, Chris. A short week after the victory over the Bears. And on the rollout, and here's Troy Brown. And he is pushed out of bounds again by Marcus Anderson after picking up.
Well, and I don't think it's surprising that the last couple of weeks the Patriots offense has struggled putting points on the board, and they have not thrown the ball nearly as much nor as effectively. But you watch here, Troy Brown is so good running from that slot position. When you get isolated on a DB and an inexperienced defensive back like Marcus Anderson, then you're going to have the advantage going to Troy Brown.
Second down and 5. And the Patriots keeping it on the ground there. Antoine Smith. And Antoine Smith picking up 7 yards.
You know, Dick, that's the first time in the ball game we've seen Green Bay go to their nickel defense, and why not? They've been getting passed on every single play. And then that time they come right back with Antoine Smith running right up the middle. Anytime you get that extra small guy in the field, you need to just pound it right at him.
And young defensive backs. And Todd McBride, who was forced to start when Mike McKenzie couldn't go last week. First down in Green Bay territory, and the handoff to Kevin Falk. And Falk picking up a couple of yards on first down. Packer defense has not really played well at all this year. And now facing a team that has good balance, if Smith can run, they get 2 yards.
Well, and they're really struggling in the sense that they're having a hard time now getting pressure on the quarterback because of the injuries that they had. Really, the only true pass rusher that they have is Kabir Baji-Biamila, who just came into the ball game at the defensive end position. Normally, he aligns on the right-hand side on that last play. He aligned on the left side over Kenyatta Jones.
Second down and 8. Biamila on the sideline right now, but they spread him out with 4 wide receivers, now 5 for Brady, and an empty backfield, and going deep down the sideline, and the ball is intercepted by Brian Westbrook, who is signed and came to practice this Wednesday. The former highly touted Detroit Lion cornerback, who is dropped by the Dallas Cowboys, comes in and makes an impact play.
Yeah, he just came in, but he is an experienced corner. And right here, the ball needed to be thrown on the inside for David Patton to have an opportunity to catch that. Brian Westbrook playing his outside shoulder, and that's where Tom Brady elected to throw the football. And a nice play by Brian Westbrook, and that's got to give him confidence coming in here and playing for his first game with the Green Bay Packers.
And let's talk about why Westbrook was released from the Cowboys. They signed him to $1 million contract. He wasn't everything they expected from him, and just in a financial sense, couldn't afford to keep him.
2 tight ends on first down on the 7-yard line, and Ahman Green crossing the 10-yard line. Green coming off a 107-yard effort on the ground against the Bears. Packers offensive line, Earl Dotson had some migraine problem during the week, and that is their group, which may be the healthiest they've been in some weeks. Green, of course, is the workhorse. Terry Glenn and Donald Driver, the receivers. In fact, Glenn was named the captain today by Mike Sherman. So Brett Favre continues with the milestones, and second down, chased by Willie McGinnis, and he throws short to Terry Glenn, and he is close to the first down yardage. So Glenn gets to touch the ball early. The Patriot defensive unit, and you can hear the boos with Glenn's name mentioned. The rookie Jarvis Green again starts for Anthony Pleasant at defensive end. Vrabel, Bruschi, and Pfeiffer are the linebackers, and a very impressive secondary. Number 1 against the pass in the league. Smith, Law, Malloy, and Jones. So Willie McGinnis remains in the game on 3rd and 1. And here's Green, first down as he crosses the 20-yard line. So the Packers getting the ball on the turnover. The interception by Westbrook get him Favre some room as Green picks up 5.
one of the great things about Ahman Green, and I don't know that people around the league and fans realize what a power running back this guy is. He watches Walter Payton films, and he said the thing that he loves about Walter Payton was he didn't allow people to hit him. He hit those guys, and that's the style he has.
Favre looking one way, can't find a receiver, and finds one. The tight end Bubba Franks underneath. And Mike Vrabel on the tackle, a pickup of 6.
Well, and Brett Favre, he's really developed a relationship with Donald Driver already this early in the season. He's looking for him here. The safety actually is the one who takes it away. He has to come back out, Brett, and this is what makes Brett Favre so special. He's able to take a play where there really was nothing there, move around in the pocket, still deliver and get a completion.
Anytime you have number 4, as Chris said at the outset, you got a chance regardless of the myriad of injuries the rest of this team may be suffering. Driver going in motion. The handoff is to Green, and Green will be short of the first down by a yard as he is stopped at the 30-yard line. So Brett Favre, so far this year, those are his numbers, celebrating his 33rd birthday on Thursday.
And you know, the guy was in our meeting last night, and wow, we talked about everything with him, and he was talking about the time he had the tendonitis, and people were questioning what it was. And he said, well, you know, I made it such a big deal, but really I just spent too much time with the weed whacker that week.
Down in Mississippi, and the inside handoff to Ahman Green, and a first down. So Favre, with the wet weather, keeping the ball on the ground. Green getting a lot of work, picking up 3 yards, and it's a Packer first down.
Yeah, and in talking with Ahman Green last night, he said that he can usually tell what kind of game it's going to be for him running the football just based on the first few carries that he has, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's got to be big gains. And the 2 runs that he's had so far in this game have been for first downs. I've got to believe that he feels good about that, and he's got to feel good about what's going to happen here over the course of this ball game.
Packers started at the 7. They're on their own 33-yard line, and again they go to Green, and Green dives forward and picks up nearly 5 yards on the play, give him 6 in all. So the ball control efforts by the Packers in a scoreless game with under 8 minutes to go in the first.
You know, it's really surprising for me to see this Patriots team struggling the way that they are against the run. Now, I know they've faced some pretty good backs in the last few weeks. Priest Holmes gouged them pretty good, LaDainian Tomlinson, Ricky Williams. But this is a team that really was fantastic against the run and overall on defense last year, and so for whatever reason, just struggling right now.
2nd and 5. Franks going in motion to the right, and the pass thrown over the head of the intended receiver, Terry Glenn. And right now, for a game break, let's go to Los Angeles and James Brown.
Hey, Dick, I know Troy and Chris will appreciate this. First row start for Joey Harrington of the Lions. Play action, throws a strong safety. A wide-open Michael Ricks, 41-yard strike. Lions on top of the Vikings in Minneapolis, 7-0. Back to Dick Stockton, Troy Aikman, Chris Collinsworth, and Pam Oliver.
I tell you what, the first thing that they did really well there in Detroit was get Joey Harrington out on the field and winning that ball game 2 weeks ago, getting off to a great start in a tough place to play in Minneapolis.
3rd down and 5, and Green going in motion to the right, but Favre looking the other way, and Donald Driver will be tackled, and it was Ty Law who came up to make the big defensive play and will force Green Bay to punt.
Well, they've really struggled. New England defensively last week has had problems getting off the field in 3rd down conversions. Right there, one-on-one matchup with Ty Law and Donald Driver. Ty Law does a nice job of making the play in the tackle and not allowing him to get the first down.
One we may want to keep our eye on, that time when Ahman Green went in motion, the linebacker Roman Pfeiffer came out with him. That's probably a matchup I'm sure those coaches are saying we can take advantage of.
Kevin Falk is back deep for Josh Bidwell's kick, and it's a booming punt by Bidwell. Falk inside the 15, and a flag is down. Our first penalty of the game. And Falk is stopped before he gets to his 20 by Torrance Marshall and Marcus Wilkins. And the referee who worked last year's Super Bowl involving the Patriots and the Rams, Bernie Kukar, is our chief man today. Tom Brady getting set to work for the 2nd time.
There is no fall on the play. The block was a side block, not a block in the back.
And you got to like that from the officials when they get it right. No score, Patriots ball when we return. Back here in Foxborough, the Ducks love this weather. It's really kind of good football weather when you have rain and clouds, as long as we're up here, right, Troy?
Well, it's been raining ever since we got to town on Friday, and I'm surprised after that soccer game last night the field's in as good a shape as what it is.
New England starting from the 19. And the fake toss and the pass going to Antoine Smith. And Smith gets 1 yard with Wayne and Nickerson, a couple of linebackers in on the play. The Patriots 1-2 for the first time in the Tom Brady era. And they have their bye week coming up next week. And if you want to go back to last year, they were 3-3 when they had their bye week in what turned out to be a Super Bowl season. Second down. And the Packers are in the Patriot backfield as Bajabiamila has a quick hello for Tom Brady.
And we saw Tom Brady in practice yesterday practicing those hard counts.
Offside, 94 defense, unabated towards the quarterback.
Let's hear it.
5-yard penalty, still second down.
Specifically for Kabir Biamila. I'll paraphrase. He said, "Oh, dang, Kabir." Somebody, and I would imagine that probably wasn't a Patriot.
Second down and 5 following the penalty, and the pitch going to Antoine Smith, turning the corner, and Smith getting a first down. He's looking to get on track again after picking up only 14 yards in 9 carries against the Dolphins. He gets 11 on that play.
Well, I think this is the kind of play that Antoine Smith really excels in, is when he's able to get his body moving downfield and get ahead of steam going, because he's not someone who moves really very well laterally. He doesn't have great quickness or speed, but he's got good strength and good power.
56 to mine. 33. 33.
Troy Brown in as the third receiver. It's play action time, and going deep is Tom Brady, and he's trying to go to Deion Branch. And the crowd looking for a flag downfield is Todd McBride on the coverage on Branch, who has had a tremendous start to his rookie season.
You know, Todd McBride, he came in last week when McKenzie went down and did a nice job. And you see here, there's a little bit of contact going down the field by both guys. McBride leaning on him and Deion Branch. And I can tell you, Deion Branch, rookie wide receiver out of Louisville, he's a tremendous talent. Really an outstanding football player. Does a lot of great things. We're going to see a lot of him today.
Second and 10. They keep it on the ground to Kevin Falk. Finds an opening and a penalty flag down. Kevin Falk had a big hole. And the preliminary signal, it'll be an offside penalty against the Packers, the second defensive penalty on this possession.
And they got Kabir to jump one more time. They thought they could get him at least 4 or 5 times in the game. You watched him play against Chicago. He got off the ball so quickly. If you don't change up the snap count, this guy will just take advantage of you all day long. You're going to get chewed out by the coaches probably right now, though. That's 2 in the first quarter. Don't listen to the snap count. Watch the football. You hear it about 4,000 times in the defensive line meeting.
They're going to have a measurement here to see exactly how far the Patriots must go before they decide on the penalty. They are about a little less than a yard shy as the signal goes over to Bill Belichick.
We're working on Chad Clifton and working on his knee, and he came out for a few snaps last week in the game against the Bears. That would then put Mike Flanagan, their center, out at left tackle, and they'd bring in old man Winters, Frank Winters, and put him in at center.
Offside, 94 defense. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Plus, you already have Mark Tauscher out of the game at the right tackle position, and Earl Dotson playing there, so they may end up being as thin on their offensive line as the Patriots are.
Well, no one has passed the ball to Brett Favre more than anyone.
That's a good point.
Winters, the center. Anyway, they declined the penalty because the Patriots are less than a yard shy, and they would rather have the distance than the down. And Tom Brady on the quarterback sneak gets the first down for New England.
I tell you, Tom Brady, I had a chance to really go back and watch some of his games this week, and I had not had the opportunity to watch him play all that much last season. Obviously, the story's been told the year that he had, but thoroughly impressed with his ability to throw the football. I think that got overlooked in the way that they were able to win games last year, but a tremendous talent, great accuracy, and poise in the pocket.
And leadership on top of that. Here is the quick wide receiver screen to Deion Branch. And Branch close to midfield. Picking up 3 yards with Gilbert Brown making the tackle. A lot of slimmed down Gilbert Brown, you might say, has been a lot more active and really having a terrific year at defensive tackle for the Packers.
Yeah, we were talking with him last night, and we said, you know, we were talking about his weight loss and all that, and he said, the only thing I hate is talking to my trainer, and the first thing he wants to know is what I'm eating. I said, man's got to have a little grease in his life now.
Just a little. Second down, and Mark Edwards will be stopped about 3 yards shy of the first down. And now for another game break, let's check in again with James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Dick, the Lions defense rising to the challenge as well. Dante Culpepper hitting his wide receiver, but it's jarred loose. Chris Claiborne, who's having an outstanding year, 3rd pick of the season, takes it in for the score. 14-0 Lions. And, hey, Chris, I'm glad you didn't mention this, Brown, when you talked about the grease.
The king of grease, my buddy. He's looking good, though, JV. You're looking good.
3rd down and 5. 6 defensive backs for the Packers and new faces. And throwing underneath to Troy Brown, his 3rd reception of this first half. And the Patriots get a first down, picking up 6 into Packer territory to the 43.
Well, we talked about it a few plays earlier, the mismatch that they have when they got Troy Brown working against Marcus Anderson. You would think in that situation when you line Troy Brown up in the slot, one of the things that they love to do with him is allow him to run the option routes. I'd like to see him try to double him up, but instead they put Marcus Anderson on him one-on-one, and Troy Brown's going to win that more times than not.
And he is the Patriots' ace 3rd down receiver. First down, and the pass out to Branch. Flag is down, and Branch is stopped short of the first down. So Todd McBride defensing Deion Branch, and a penalty flag. Bernie Kukar, and this will go against the offense. Possible offensive pass interference.
Pass interference, 86 offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Here's a look at it here, and on the wide receiver screen, and actually if he engages with him within a yard of the line of scrimmage, that actually is a legal play. You're able to do that even though the ball has not been received. They must have viewed on that one that it was beyond that 1-yard limit.
Well, I think Todd McBride had it right. I think they viewed it as holding when he got his hands outside the shoulder pads.
Well, now the Patriots back in their own territory, facing a first down and 20, and out of the shotgun. The pass to Fourier, the tight end, to the 45-yard line. Pats still have a long way to go. Later today, October's magical matchups continue. 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 Pacific, Game 5 between the Twins and the Angels. And then tonight, the Cardinals and the Giants in Game 4. So a big night of baseball. The NLCS Game 4 tonight is the Cardinals won a game they had to win. Joe Buck is in San Francisco for that Game 4 tonight. 2nd down and long, and again the fade, and it's caught. Deion Branch and Todd McBride turned away from the pass, and Branch was able to make the grab and a pickup of 22. And the Patriots threaten now. This may be coming back. This may come back.
Boy, I tell you what, though, what a play by Deion Branch, the AFC Rookie of the Month. And he has exploded on the scene so far this season. Here you go. This is what's up. We've got the hat off of this referee right back over here, which means that somebody stepped out of bounds, probably Deion Branch before the catch. An eligible man touching the football.
He can't be the first one to touch it coming back.
That's exactly right. So a little step out of bounds. Give Todd McBride a little credit.
Number 83 offense. The receiver went out of bounds. Was the first to come back and touch it. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
One of the things the defensive back always wants to do is force you into that sideline, and then obviously when he tried to make that sidestep to jump back to the middle on the top of your screen now, steps out and then jumps in front. Good call by the officials.
And that'll nullify a 22-yard gain. So the Patriots, who are facing an uphill climb in this possession, Troy.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing it does do. It does come back, but it certainly makes Green Bay aware that the Patriots are certainly willing to run by them. They've got to be careful if they're going to try to match up and press these guys, and here they are in the same look.
Second down, 17. Donald Hayes, the big receiver, has come in, and on the screen pass, Kevin Falk is tackled at the 40-yard line of Green Bay, picking up 9 yards. Cledius Hunt, who has had a good season for the Packers, the other tackle with Gilbert Brown downfield on the play.
Well, and Hunt's done a tremendous job this year, really. He came into last season, or this season, and they did not have a sack last year, and they, even though he's a run stopper, they felt that they needed to get more of a pass rush out of him, and this year he's been outstanding. He's shown a real burst. He's got 3 sacks on the season, and you saw there the kind of effort that he's given.
Third down and 8 with under a half a minute remaining in the first quarter. And they're spreading him out with the empty backfield. And here comes the pressure. And Brady trying to go to Hayes and overthrows him by a mile. Hayes seemed to stop his route. And so fourth down coming up with 14 seconds to go in the first.
Donald Hayes, a new addition this year, did just come to a dead stop, and it was because Tyrone Williams had him completely blanketed. I'm almost surprised that on that third down and long that Tom Brady decided to go after Williams, who is an established corner in this league, instead of McBride. McBride was the guy the Bears picked on all week last week.
Ken Walter will be kicking from his 45. Darian Gortz, you see him back there. Number 23 is deep. And a fair catch called for by Gordon. And Walter did his job. He gets a kick inside the 20. In fact, it was better than that. He got it inside the 15. Frank Winters has come in at center. Mike Flanagan moving over to left tackle. Chad Clifton is on the bench right now and has a right knee injury. Clifton suffering the burner, as you guys mentioned, last Monday night against the Bears. So yet another injury for the green and gold. Yet they're 4-1. And the handoff to Armand Green, and picks up a yard as the time runs out. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Packers nothing and the Patriots nothing. The NFL on Fox will continue from Foxborough after these messages. And the start of the second quarter, Dick Stockton, Troy Aikman, Chris Collinsworth, and Pam Oliver, the Patriots and the Packers. And there's Bill Belichick around his quarterback. And the Packers starting from the 9-yard line, or from the 13, second down and 10. And open out of the backfield is Armand Green as he gets close to first down yardage. And it was Ty Law trying to drive him out of bounds. So he'll be short of the first down, facing third. Well, we talked about the rain, Troy, and about the wet field. What do you notice so far about the handling of the football, if anything?
Well, what surprises me is how well these quarterbacks are throwing the football. And I was watching them in warm-ups, and it just is not an issue. It does not bother them. And when you got quarterbacks that can throw the ball well in inclement weather, the advantage really is to the offense because the receivers know where they're running.
Just like you're one of the great wet ball throwers of all time.
Absolutely. Tongue-in-cheek, we might add. So third down and short, and Armand Green driving the middle of the line and close to the first down.
Well, when you talk about why these guys are able to throw the ball so effectively, what happens is that they use more of the laces. I had problems because I didn't use hardly any of the laces at all back here in the back end half of the ball. Both Brett and Tom Brady use all of the laces with 3 and sometimes 4 fingers on it, and that makes a huge difference when you're trying to throw a wet football.
Maybe this is a stupid question, but why didn't you put your fingers on the laces?
I couldn't throw a spiral like that.
Well, you make it sound like you couldn't throw a football.
Well, Chris does.
Oh, come on. He was a pretty good guy.
Packers come up short, and Josh Bidwell will do the kicking, and Kevin Falk, another towering kick by Bidwell, and the Falk goes nowhere. So the Packers getting good work from their punter and their coverage teams early here in the second quarter. Still no score.
On that last punt, Ty Law going to work on Robert Ferguson and maybe lulling him to sleep a little bit. Lawyer Malloy coming across, and if you can't hit the wide receivers legally and fairly on passing plays, go ahead and knock them out on the punt return.
You know, I think Lawyer Malloy got confused. I think that was he thought it was an 83. He thought it was Terry Glenn out there, not Robert Ferguson.
Except they never found Terry Glenn on that team.
So the Patriots on their 36-yard line. Pitch to Antoine Smith, changing direction, and has Brady trying to possibly set a block in his way, and Marcus Anderson brings him down for nothing.
Yeah, and Chris, you know, you were talking about the play at quarterback, and you know, you always kind of talk about playing the position is not real difficult. Well, we got a little footage here. Back, your one pass attempt back with the Bengals.
You are so wrong.
And it's a pick, and it was a pick. And so Chris's all-time QB rating was 0.
Show me how to grip that wet football one more time, will you?
Second and 10, and Brady going to the air and going downfield, and the Patton, the intended receiver, overthrown and covered by Todd McBride.
Now check out these numbers here. 0 for 1 and 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a -200 rating. And that, of course, that's if you're playing college. That's college.
Did I ever tell you I hold the NCAA record for the longest touchdown pass of all time? Go ahead, Dick.
I think you've told us several times.
You know what? You know, Chris?
Doesn't count till I get to 20.
I think the Bengals needed that completion against the Steelers in that game. We won't go into talk about what that meant.
That was pathetic.
Third down and 10. Patriots in a scoreless game on their 36. And the Packers trying to get in on Brady, and he gets by 1 and completes the pass to Troy Brown. Just as the Pack able to bring him down, he got rid of the ball. Niall Diggs, the linebacker, nearly got to Brady, but he completes the 14-yard pass to Troy Brown.
Well, and this is a really good job by this line. Watch Kevin Falk right here, number 33, and he does a great job of helping pick up the blitz. And Niall Diggs is not able to get to Brady and bring him down. Brady does a nice job of almost fumbling the ball and regathering himself and still being able to find Troy Brown on the crossing route.
I can't believe he didn't fumble that ball.
Patriots to their own 49. 5 wide outs and the quick slant to Donald Hayes. And Hayes with the forward progress will get 9 yards when all is said and done. And now it's time for a game break. Let's check in again with JB in L.A.
Hey, Dick, it may not be an imitation of Mike Vick, but Doug Johnson in for the injured Mike Vick. Nobody's open. He has to scramble. Great pump fake right here. He takes it at the 15 yards for the score. 7-0 Atlanta. Back to Dick, Troy, and Chris.
And the quick slant the other side to Deion Branch. And a Patriot first down. And Troy, they look in rhythm for the first time today.
Well, they do. And right now they're going to the no-huddle situation, which is what I thought they may do even earlier in this ball game just because of the young, inexperienced players in the secondary. And right now they're spreading them out. And this is a good group of receivers against a very young, inexperienced secondary.
And it continues to rain here in Foxborough. First down. And now they go up the middle to Troy Brown. And do they ever welcome him back today, Chris?
And, you know, the problem for the Green Bay Packers, they've got a young man, Todd Franz, in the ballgame that they just picked up this week. So you can't do very much in the secondary. Not only in the no huddle, you're running around in your most basic defense just trying to figure out where to play.
2nd and 6. Again, they spread them out. Flag is down. There's a penalty. And the pass caught, this time by David Patton. It would be another first down for New England pending the penalty call. Very crisp possession for the Patriots as Patton hitting the slants And now the question about the penalty. You see one of the officials signaling a face mask over in the group. And it'll go against New England and Green Bay as well. 2 penalties on the same play. One is the personal foul against the Packers.
Illegal formation, offense, not enough men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, defense number 32, grabbing and pulling on the face mask. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Brian Westbrook shaking his head. What did I do? And the Patriots will have a first down.
Well, here's a better look at it.
That's what he did.
Looks like he might have had him by the... I couldn't tell if he had him by the face mask or if, in fact, he had him by the shoulder pad, which maybe looked like the face mask.
I don't like the 15-yard there. Yes, that was a 5-yard penalty, but then those penalties would have offset instead of the 5 and 15, in which you only enforced the 15.
So the ball on the 14. The Patriots outgaining the Packers, and Antoine Smith trying to go wide and not getting anything.
But Troy, what has happened to this Packers defense now with all these guys in the ball game that have not even been in practice really? Bryant Westbrook and Todd Franz. Essentially, they're sitting in those basic looks. It'd be like taking a major league hitter and saying, all right, I'm going to throw nothing but fastballs to you all day long. For an NFL quarterback to know what they're going to be playing on defense, it just makes it easy.
And, of course, don't forget Antoine Edwards out with a broken arm. He was hurt even before this latest siege of injuries. And the play fake, and Brady getting by a couple of defenders. I don't know how he's doing it. And throws it over the head of Antoine Smith. What great escapability shown by Tom Brady in this first half.
Tremendous job by Tom Brady, and he definitely is not known as a very mobile quarterback, but yet he is athletic, and you don't have to be a great runner in order to be effective in the pocket. You think of Dan Marino and how he was able to avoid the rush. Tom Brady right here able to make a few moves and still be able to get around and get rid of the football and avoid the sack.
Tom Brady's numbers. He has 1 interception, 13 of 18, but the Patriots threaten 3rd down and 10 on the Packers 14. Plenty of time, and gets hit as he fires it incomplete, intended for Branch. And at that time, the Packers came storming in, so he's taken a little bit of punishment back there. That was Steve Warren. So 4th down, and Adam Vinatieri will come on to try to break the scoreless tie.
Yeah, and Tom Brady, he will take some hits. I mean, he saw that coming the entire way, and that's just that's the way he plays the game. He will hang in there as long as he possibly can if it means that he can allow a receiver to get open. He had an opportunity there and still took the hit.
Vinatieri with a 32-yard attempt, and the kick is good. So Vinatieri, Super Bowl hero who rarely misses, giving New England the lead over the Packers.
Taco Bell's grilled steak taco tastes so authentic, you may pull a grilled steak switch out.
So you like carne asada steak?
Yeah.
Great. Got some out on the grill.
The grilled steak taco. Tender slices of steak marinated in Mexican spices and grilled to perfection for a taste that's irresistible. For authentic carne asada steak, think outside the bun.
What are you trying to do to me with this?
But I like this song.
Nah, come on, get my CD case.
Fox
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By CDW, the right technology right away. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Lexus and their passionate pursuit of perfection.
So Adam Vinatieri breaks the scoreless tie, and the Patriots lead 3-0 over the Packers. There's the scoring drive, and Brady Sharp, 4 of 7. Not many long passes, but they were on the money. And Vinatieri kicking off early here in the second quarter. Javon Walker, the rookie from Florida State, returning for the Packers. And he brings it out close to the 25-yard line. So Brett Favre looking to put some points on the board for the Packers when we come back.
Special teams tackles tied for the NFL lead. And when you do that, you get a little bit of attention going down. There's one, and then there's 2, 3, and then one more guy's got to hit him. Boom. Okay, good job. Green Bay Packers. When you're good, you get lots of attention.
Kind of a symbol of the Patriots' success last year. Overachieving, hustling players. First down and keeping it on the ground. Ahman Green. And Green picking up nearly 5 yards. Let's check in with James Brown for another game break in Los Angeles. JB.
Washington's rookie Patrick Ramsey has thrown 3 picks in the first half. Here, Aaron Brooks makes him pay for 1 play action, hooking up with Boo Williams, 13-0 Saints. And then Rodney Peete making Dallas pay for a Quincy Carter turnover, hooking up with Brad Hoover, 25-yard strike, 7-0 score both in the second quarter. Dick, Troy, and Chris.
It's amazing how quarterbacks from week to week, everyone raving about Patrick Ramsey, but it's a long process.
Absolutely, especially when you're a young quarterback.
And here is Green bouncing to the outside, and his best run of the game by far, and 11 yards, giving the Packers a first down to the 40-yard line.
Well, the New England Patriots right now are playing very cautious in the secondary. Cover 2, spread out on the underneath coverages, bringing only 5, 6 guys up into the box up there. So what the Packers are doing to retaliate is just handing the ball to Ahman Green.
Ted Johnson replacing Teddy Bruschi at middle linebacker for New England. First down on the 40. And here is Green, a heavy dose of Ahman Green, who finds his way into Patriot territory, and another first down. So another 11-yard pickup back-to-back for Ahman Green. Ted Johnson on the stop.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ahman Green, I really, really like this guy. In my opinion, he's the best runner in football right now. He's got great balance, great acceleration. Rarely do you see him going to the line without his shoulders being parallel to the line of scrimmage, and that's very hard to do. You never see him running and not keeping his feet and his shoulder base and his pad level down. Just a great player.
Averaging nearly 5 yards a carry. Play fake for Favre on first down, dancing around, and he finds an open man, Bubba Franks. And Franks getting by 2 or 3 defenders, and that's going to really bother Bill Belichick, because bad tackling has been one of the problems for New England lately, and the Patriots guilty of a 15-yard play on that one.
Well, one of the things that the Patriots were most concerned about in playing Brett Favre was his ability to keep plays alive. He said usually you just have to defense maybe 5, 6 seconds against the quarterback, but Brett, with the way he moves around the pocket, sometimes it can be 15, 20 seconds you had to defend, and that's what he was able to do there.
Rookie Tony Fisher in at running back, but it's a pass, and it's William Henderson who on the grab coming out of the backfield, getting 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, and William Henderson, he's not a guy who carries the ball that much, but he is involved in the passing game and obviously the blocking game as well, leading for Ahman Green. But on those types of plays where they're able to just run him out on a little angle route over the middle of the ball and get him the football, they view those much like a running play. Get him the football, let him run with it, pick up 4 or 5 yards.
Had his 114 consecutive game string snapped in Carolina, returned against the Bears. 2nd and 5, and up the middle goes Tony Fisher, the rookie from Notre Dame, stopped about a yard shy of the first down by the linebacker Roman Pfeiffer.
And Brett Favre went back and watched the Super Bowl film of the Rams offense against this Patriots defense. And he said the one thing that I thought Kurt Warner could have taken advantage of more was just checking the ball down to Marshall Faulk. Just take those little plays. They want to drop back into the zone. They're going to give you those short dump-offs. Wouldn't be surprised to see one here.
Well, this is where New England has struggled on third downs, getting them off the field.
And the two tight ends, Favre gets protection, and Favre in traffic, and the pass nearly intercepted by Malloy. Brett Favre looking to go to Terry Glenn, who was sandwiched well downfield by the Patriots.
Well, Brett Favre had time to throw the football. They bring Otis Smith, 45, off the backside, but the backs and line do a good job of coming out on him. And then you look at the other end of it, and there was no chance of trying to get that ball in. Brett trying to feed him one to Terry Glenn, but double teamed on that play.
And inadvertent bump downfield. So Ryan Longwell will attempt a 44-yard field goal to try to tie the score. Flag is down, and Longwell's kick is good, but there is a penalty marker. And now another one comes hurtling out.
Well, that could be a first down for Green Bay if it's against New England.
They needed 2 yards. And now Brett Favre stays on the field. So apparently that's going to be the case, Chris, as Favre and the rest of the offensive unit comes back on.
And last week on a field goal, Teddy Bruschi was called for trying to jump on the back. Everything against New England. Jumping on the back of one of his defenders. I thought it was a horrible call in the ball game, but it still was a momentum shift because they had a field goal and that gave them a first down afterwards, and the Miami Dolphins went in and scored a touchdown. So now you hear another mistake.
31 defense. That penalty is declined. Illegal use of hands. 93 defense. Hands to the face. That penalty is accepted. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Richard Seymour with the big penalty, and now here is Bill Belichick, who sees his team with a 3-0 lead, poor tackling, and a bad penalty on the field goal.
Yeah, and here's Richard Seymour, 93 is what he gets called on right there, hand to the face and unsportsmanlike conduct. And the disappointing thing is that the New England defense has had problems stopping teams once they've got inside the red zone, has had problems stopping them from getting touchdowns. And so you finally are able to hold them and make them settle for a field goal, and then you have just stupidity come into play and have Green Bay's drive stay alive.
A lack of discipline on what normally is a disciplined defense. Packers with a first down on the 21. Here comes an all-out blitz. It's picked up, and the pass is batted in the air, incomplete. Well, the Packers did a great job of picking up the blitz, but the pass was deflected.
Incomplete pass here, but watch Amon Green with an incredible blitz pickup to really save Brett Favre's life. He was going to get hit right in the chops, came all the way across the formation. Yes, it's incomplete, but it's 2nd and 10 and your quarterback still on the field. Great play by Amon Green.
And Amon Green told us last night that that's one of the things that he's enjoyed most is not so much running the football or catching the football, but being a part of the blitz pickup and pass protection.
And it was Willie McGinnis who got his hand on the ball. And here is Green diving over linemen and getting now to the 16-yard line to Bucky Jones and Teddy Bruschi. But Green picks up 5 more. And the game plan obvious here. It's Amon Green, and more of Green in this first half.
And people may question, why do you run the ball in a 2nd and 10 situation and not throw it? But what you want to do is keep the Patriots out of their nickel defense, because that's when they blitz, that's when they get very elaborate.
This is the 10th play of the drive.
Yeah, well, they're in their nickel now.
Buckley is in as the nickel back. And here is Favre. He sees something, and the pass to Donald Driver, and they're going to say no catch. He did not have possession, juggling the ball as he went out of bounds. And once again, the officials making sure before they make the call. Ty Law was defending Driver on this play.
You see it here, and it just didn't feel like he ever really had control of the football. And
I don't know about that one.
Ball's in his body here. It looks like it's moving, and
I don't know about it. I think you're going to get a challenge on this one.
And they did. They're going to. Driver's only caught one pass so far in the game, and he's developed into a favorite of Brett Favre, as we have seen this season.
The one rule that does come into play on occasion
has challenged a ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Is that if you catch a football and you're going to the ground and the ground knocks the ball out, it is an incomplete pass. But here I clearly thought the ball was caught before the momentum took him to the ground to knock the ball out. And yeah, there was a lot of shuffling going on, but it looked like Donald Driver had complete control of the football as he went out of bounds.
That's the look that the official had that made the actual call. And
you know, I'm not so sure on that second replay, Troy, because it looks like he may have it, but his hand is just holding on, and I don't know if he has control.
Well, I thought when he brought the second hand up to gain control, you watch it right here. Right here, he's got one hand on the ball. When he brings the second there, he's got 1 foot in bounds. And so I don't know that he actually had possession and got both feet in.
But what constitutes control? I mean, can you have control of the football, trapping it against your chest with one hand? And the answer is yes.
You can if the ball's not moving.
If it's not moving. But when you saw the end of that play, in my opinion anyway, he had one hand with it trapped against his chest. And yes, he was fiddling around with the other hand trying to get it up there, but the one hand had control.
And Chris, this is where I come in and say it has to be indisputable visual evidence to overrule the
you can't have a replay unless you come in and say it's got to be indisputable evidence. I mean, that's what the league wants, right?
Right. And the thing is it apparent that he had control to overrule the challenge? And I'm not so sure.
I can't tell from that angle, but the other one, I thought he had it pinned against his chest. But I will say that most ties go to whatever they call
to the runner
on the field.
Tie to the runner.
And so
one guy's not really perturbed about it all is the quarterback.
No, I think he's asking him right there, hey, did you catch it or did you not catch it? Brett's got a pretty good poker face. I don't know.
He's probably
I don't know if you can tell anything from that look.
He's probably saying, I don't mind if you miss it the first 3 times, but catch it the 4th time, will you?
He's probably saying, don't worry, we'll get him on the next play.
But this is a huge play in the ball game. It's either 1st and goal for the Packers, or they have to take a shot at a field goal here. It's 4th down if it's ruled incomplete.
That's true. So we had a critical penalty, and we now have a critical challenge coming on now as the 2 coaches who both attended school in New England. Southern Connecticut for Mr. Sherman, Wesleyan for Mr. Belichick. Here comes Bernie Kukar. As you saw, the Packers lost their only previous replay challenge this season.
After reviewing the play, the ball was not moving. The receiver had possession of the football 2 feet in. It is a completed catch. There is no charge. Timeout, Green Bay. 1st down.
So a big challenge to the dismay of Bill Belichick goes the Packers' way, and it'll be 1st and goal. As you pointed out, 4th down, looking for 3. Now they've got a chance for 7.
Well, now it's time for New England to step up. And you know, you look at their season last year, they were the best in the league at keeping teams out of the end zone, and this year they're 31st in the league in doing that. And it's no wonder why they've given up the points they've given up when you're allowing touchdowns when teams get in the red zone.
Well, this is the red area, as Bill Belichick says, the red area, as he likes to call it. 1st and goal at the 5, and here is Ahman Green, and Green edges his way to the 4-yard line and maybe the 3. In a game that we expected a lot of passes, perhaps a good deal of scoring, only 3 points on the board thus far with nearly 4 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, there's a look at what we were talking about in terms of being able to keep teams out of the end zone. And you know, you look at this drive by the Green Bay Packers and what has happened, and other than that last pass that was completed, they've really gotten down in this position by running the football.
And Bill Ferrario, a tackle, is eligible as a tight end. And here is Favre, fires down the middle, and it's a touchdown to William Henderson. So the Packers win a challenge, and Favre gets them in. A 3-yard pass to William Henderson, and Green Bay takes the lead.
A very interesting thing going on right there between these two coaches. The Packers come in with personnel that's their jumbo package. The big guys, the tight ends, the extra linemen, big backs in the backfield. The Patriots quickly hustle all their big guys on the field, and Green Bay actually waited for them to get out there so that they could throw the football.
First touchdown catch of the year for old reliable fullback Henderson. Ryan Longwell adds the 7th point. And the Packers and Brett Favre, good cheer for the rest of his offensive unit as the Packers on the road, depleted by injury, lead the Patriots. Brett Favre connecting with William Henderson, his first touchdown catch in 2 years, and the 8th different receiver to catch a scoring toss, and the hands to the face penalty against that man, Seymour. And then the challenge victory led to the Green Bay touchdown. So the Patriots trailing the Packers 7-3 going into the bye week and trying not to lose their 3rd in a row. And for the Packers, it's amazing how they are 4-1 considering all of the injuries they've had and the fact that their defense hasn't really played an outstanding game yet. Here's Ryan Longwell kicking off, and back deep, Kevin Falk for the Patriots. And Falk is corralled at the 27 by Marcus Wilkins. 3 minutes, 41 seconds remaining. Tom Brady back to work for the Patriots.
Package, so they substitute in all their big defensive linemen, take out Ty Law, even throw in Jarvis Green last second here. And one of the Green Bay Packers do say, okay, bring in all the big guys, we'll just drop back and throw a touchdown pass.
So the Patriots from their 27-yard line. First down, the give is to Antoine Smith off the left side, penalty marker down. Smith getting about 6 yards. Marcus Anderson, the rookie free safety, starting in place of the injured Darren Sharper, who's out with a hamstring pull. And holding will be the call against the Patriots. So now the lack of discipline evident on both sides of the ball. And the Patriots, after a tough week of practice, struggling again.
Holding, 86 offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Patton holding on the play, and the key plays on that last drive. Richard Seymour, hands to the face. And the challenge that was overruled, actually, it was Driver who had possession when they said it was an incomplete pass. Remember, Seymour's penalty came on Longwell's successful field goal. So the Packers got a first down and goal and scored the touchdown to take the lead. Fake on a wide receiver screen, and the pass to Kevin Falk. And if it's behind the line, it's a live ball, and no signal was given. No signal was given, and if it was behind the cornerback, Kevin Falk bobbled it, and now the conference, and a very critical one because the Packers had picked up the loose ball, and they could have a fumble recovery here.
And it's a great job by the officials here in not blowing the whistle, because by not blowing the whistle, now replay can come into play on this one. So if they award the ball to the Green Bay Packers here, they can still go back with replay and check it to make sure and see if the Patriots actually threw the ball forward or backward.
Was it a lateral pass is the issue that they're discussing right now.
The ruling on the field is it is a backward pass recovered by Green Bay. First down.
A huge break for the Packers on Falk's bobble of that high pass behind. It was a lateral.
All right, let's check it out.
He throws from the 12-yard line.
Right there.
Is this Music City Miracle? 13-3. The Packers lead, a shock crowd, and Brett Favre with his 300th TD toss.
Yeah, you take a look at the last play for the touchdown, and Amon Green, the tailback, Willie McGinnis runs right by him. You see right here, runs right by Amon Green. Nobody gets a chip on him, and boy, it doesn't get any easier than that.
2 touchdowns, 43 seconds apart. First William Henderson, and then Amon Green with his first touchdown of the year. Think about 24 TDs in the last 2 years. Green getting on the board has been the key operative for the Packers, along with Brett Favre in this one.
And Brett Favre's the only guy I know that when he runs towards the bench after a touchdown pass, linebackers run and hide. He about wore out Hardy Nickerson over there, about 4 headbutts.
And the kickoff from Longwell. Patrick pass. Trying to get some running room on the outside, and gets it out close to the 30-yard line. Well, the exclusive 300 club. Fran Tarkenton, the old scrambler from the Minnesota Vikings and later the New York Giants. Dan Marino through his early in the year, opening day in 1994. And John Elway. And here is Brett Favre's reaction after his 300th touchdown pass. A lot of headbutting.
Hardy said, enough, stop. I still have to play the second half.
Under 3 minutes to go. 2:56 to be exact. And a first down on the 29. Brady getting time, drills it, and the pass is broken up by Matt Bowen. Deion Branch, the intended receiver, and Bowen, who's a physical defensive back.
Yeah, Deion Branch, he, as we talked about earlier, really an outstanding player. He's got to come back to that ball and make that catch. He had an opportunity. Defensive back comes back for it. He does not.
Mike Compton is the center for the shotgun plays, not Damian Woody. And there is the pass, nearly intercepted off the hands of Kevin Falk. And nearly intercepted by Hardy Nickerson. So Falk is having a rough late stages to this first half, Chris.
He really is. And I have to tell you, this has been a pretty embarrassing first half offensively for these New England Patriots. Nearly picked off here. But you have a depleted defensive football team. At least 5 starters not playing for the Green Bay Packers, and still this Patriots offense has just looked awful.
They're bumbling and stumbling in their first 4 possessions, and not much better here. 3rd down, 10. And there is Brady, and he's going to take off, and Brady gets the first down. With all of that, the crowd gets back to cheering their team, a pickup of 13.
Well, Tom Brady does a great job right there of not sliding. Had he have slidden, he would have not gotten the first down. He recognized that, went in head first, picks up the first down.
On the 41, and the Patriots trying to hurry it up. They have 2 timeouts remaining. And the out pass, and incomplete is the ruling. It was intended for David Patton. And Westbrook on the hit.
Here's that previous play of Tom Brady when he recognizes there's pressure and he's sliding, or instead of sliding, he stays up and goes in head first and is able to pick up the first down. And that's just knowing where the chains are and what you have to do in a game situation. That's what Bill Belichick told us yesterday, was that Tom Brady does a great job of knowing situations in games.
Tyrone Williams ducked when Brady came. I couldn't believe that attempted attack.
2nd down and 10. Up the middle, and a diving grab by Christian Fourier. Short of the first down by 3 yards as we wind down to our 2-minute warning. So the Green Bay Packers pulling out victories despite all their injuries, trying to hold off the Pats here in the 2nd quarter. Matchup continues next week with a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, beginning with America's #1 pregame show. Then Terrell Owens and the 49ers take on Aaron Brooks and the Saints. Packers going against the Redskins as well, as they try to slow down Brett Favre. Not an easy task, as the Patriots are learning today. Other regional action as well. It's all part of a full weekend of magical matchups as critical NFL games and baseball's World Series action takes center stage only on Fox.
Wash me? Sounds like the back of my truck.
Water me. There's plenty of water out here, but right now the rain has stopped. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 3rd down and 3 for the Patriots. And we saw Matt Light.
Wow.
Yeah, Chris commented earlier.
72 offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Chris commented on it earlier. This week in practice, they worked on it a bunch. The hard count, trying to get Green Bay offsides. They were able to earlier with Kabir Baji-Biamila, and that was a great job of Tom Brady using it in that situation to get a first down. Instead, it worked against him because of Matt Light.
What a big difference. 3rd and 3 and 3rd down and 8. That's huge. See how Brady answers this. Good protection for Brady, and the pass is tipped. And let's see, is it intercepted? It is. The Packers get it back. Matt Bowen off the deflection by Todd McBride with the 3rd turnover committed by New England and the 2nd interception thrown by Brady. And the Packers now in business with 1:51 showing on the clock.
You know, it's so interesting that the Green Bay Packers are basically using the same game plan that the Patriots used against the Rams in the Super Bowl, only rushing 3, dropping everybody else back into coverage. And Matt Bowen actually got away with a little down the field chunk there, but really nowhere to go with the football. And Todd McBride getting the tip, and Bowen with the play. Bowen's the guy, remember, replacing Antoine Edwards, but Mike Sherman really likes him back there.
Packers have all 3 of their timeouts. Remember, they won a challenge, and the pass to Terry Glenn. And Glenn is brought down by Terrell Buckley, both former teammates.
Well, this is when Brett Favre is really dangerous. He runs a 2-minute offense and no huddle offense as well as anybody in the league. And you just watch him, and he doesn't panic. He knows the situation. He knows how much time he's got on the clock, and he knows he's got some timeouts.
2nd and 7, and here is Ahman Green with wide open spaces off the left side. He gets the first down and goes out of bounds to stop the clock on the Patriot 49 after picking up 12. Well, Fox NFL Sunday salutes our men and women in uniform who are watching today's telecast for their military outpost overseas via the American Forces Network. Thank you for all you can do, and want to remind you also, coming up on the Visa halftime report, our gang in the studio will have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker will keep you updated with up to the second stats. Green has 66 yards rushing, but Favre wants to throw it on first down, and the pass diving for it is Javon Walker, and he makes the grab. Rookie from Florida State on the first pick with a 23-yard diving catch, and the Packers will use their first timeout.
That's a good catch there by Javon Walker. It's a cover 2 secondary there, and Otis Smith is unable to reroute him.
Sure.
Well, they got plenty of time to challenge with the timeout, I would say.
They actually,
it would be a review by the officials.
No way.
Oh,
that is incomplete.
Yes.
No way.
And yeah, I think what's going to happen is Green Bay is going to be hurt by the fact that they called the timeout.
Yes. It's inside 2 minutes, so it's upstairs with the people who review it.
Yeah, if Green Bay doesn't call the timeout, more than likely they're able to get the ball off, and they're trying to get the snap off now.
We are reviewing the ruling on the field of a completed catch.
Well, it's not very often that a timeout actually hurts your football team, but if they hustle up the line of scrimmage and spike the ball, as a television unit, we're not showing those replays, and so I'm not so sure that that one's going to get stalled, because as you watched it unfold on the field, it looked like a clean catch.
Yeah, certainly the booth would have tried to call down if they could, but sometimes that's pretty tough in a 2-minute situation. But I think looking at this, we've already seen some of the plays that have been challenged. Some of them have been up for discussion, but I don't think this one is. I think this one's definitely incomplete pass.
Well, there's a song from Oklahoma, "Oh, What a Beautiful Morning," and one of the lines is, "Everything's going my way." And you can say that about the Packers today and all the challenges and the penalties. Everything has gone their way, and let's see if that finally changes.
Yeah, the fans just saw it on the big screen for the first time, and that's why we got the reaction from the crowd here.
Just in case the officials needed any help, they went ahead and put it on the Jumbotron for the whole world to see. You could see that one in the parking lot and 10 miles down the road. No question. Won't take long.
No. Crowd seems to know what Bernie Kukar will tell us.
After reviewing the play, the ball did hit the ground. It is incomplete. Second down at the 49-yard line.
So the Packers end up using a timeout right here that they didn't really need in retrospect to use. So they have only 2 left, and the ball comes all the way back, nullifying that long pass play. 21 yards, and Mike Sherman, who has seen his team score 4 times in the final 2 minutes of the half.
And I think this is where New England's defense has got to really step up. You go back to their game against Kansas City Chiefs a few weeks back, and they gave up a big touchdown drive before the end of the game and sent the game into overtime. And this isn't the end of the game, but it is the end of the half, and they've got to be able to stop teams in these situations.
Packers dominating the second quarter as the Patriots did yardage-wise.
Please put 1:15 on the scoreboard clock.
So they add 3 seconds.
Hey, we told you how to keep that time out.
See what Brett Favre has up his sleeve on 2nd and 10 with 1:15 remaining and 2 timeouts. Prevent defense for the Patriots, and Favre fakes a pass and slides short of the first down by about 3.5, maybe 4 yards, and the clock continues to run.
Well, that was a pretty good coverage they ran right there. They showed cover 2 with Ty Law as a rolled corner, and then at the snap of the ball, they ran Ty Law to the middle of the field, and then to Bucky Jones to the outside to create a 3 deep.
So it's 3rd down and 5, and pass intended for Javon Walker, nowhere near him. And so the Patriots do hold, and the challenge from the crew upstairs, benefiting New England and forcing the Packers to kick it away. So Josh Bidwell will be kicking, and Kevin Falk going back for New England with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Going to let it bounce, hopefully for the Patriots into the end zone, which it does, and a touchback. 35 seconds to go. Packers with 2 late touchdowns in the second quarter with the lead. Last 2 losses, only 3 right now. What do you have in store for them with a half a minute?
Well, I think right here they got 35 seconds on the clock. They've got 2 timeouts. I think you come out here on first down, you try to make a play in the passing game, get yourself, and then make a decision as to whether or not you can realistically get in a position to get points. And it looks like that's what they're going to do.
3 wide outs to the right. And going deep to Donald Hayes, incomplete.
You know, and Donald Hayes was brought in this year and really expected to contribute opposite of Troy Brown, and he just really hasn't developed into the guy that they had hoped that he'd be. Deion Branch, the rookie receiver, has stepped up. David Patton has done a heck of a job as well, and Donald Hayes had been a little disappointed in and has not made the contributions that they'd hoped.
2nd down and 10 with 29 seconds to go, and they'll give it to Kevin Falk. And Falk will carry it out close to the first down, and the timeout called by New England with 22 seconds on the clock, still with an opportunity to get the ball at least into Adam Vinatieri's range.
Well, I think what they were wanting to do, they have the incompletion on first down, so on 2nd down, wisely, they run the ball. There's Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, and they run the ball, and they got good yardage out of it. So now they got 9 yards. It presents a 3rd and 1, so they've got an opportunity to pick up the first down, and if they do, then they still have a chance to try to get points out of this drive. However, had they have not been able to get good yards on that 2nd down run and play, they probably would have just let the clock run out.
We saw him in the golf cart in practice on Friday. You know, Charlie Weiss recovering from off-season gastric bypass surgery and complications which nearly cost him his life. He has come back a very valuable cohort to Bill Belichick on this team, and has that walking device with him on the sideline. 3rd down and 1. Quarterback sneak and a first down. And the Patriots will stop the clock with 19 ticks. So the New England Patriots are out of timeouts. And they are on the 33-yard line.
Well, they run the quarterback sneak to get the first down, and unfortunately with that call, you've got to call timeout, and now they're out of timeouts.
He can't use his hands, though. His hands are trapped down underneath, so he's barking out timeouts. How about Donald Driver? What an incredible story that young man is, and how well he's played here in the last little bit. He really, in his younger days, you have to go back to all the things that have happened to him, but he lived out of a U-Haul with his family. His dad went to prison, and his mom had the repo man come and take away everything, and he was literally living out of the back of a U-Haul. And for him to make the transition, come all the way now and be a star player in the National Football League, and the way he's played the last couple of weeks, just have to be very proud of that young man.
No question about it, Chris, as the Packers call a timeout, and Donald Driver almost signed with the Kansas City Chiefs as a free agent during the offseason and decided to stay in Green Bay.
Well, you know, the other thing was that, like so many young men in that situation, he turned to crime. I mean, let's be honest. At one time, he admitted to us last night he sold drugs. He stole a car, and I asked him what turned it around. He said, I actually had stolen a car and was driving away from the police, and I ran into a lady who was pulling out of her driveway. And I stopped and went back to make sure she was okay. And she said, son, did you steal that car? And he said, yeah, I did. He said, well, go in the house. The police came and said, have you seen the driver of that car? And said, no, the only guy around here is my grandson in the house. And she stuck up for him. And to this day, he still calls her grandma.
Well, you have all the details of that story, and it is a good relationship that the two of them have. And let's see now, the Packers thought they had gotten back before the snap. But the whistle and the penalty.
Offside, 97 defensive encroachment, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So it'll be first down and 5 coming up. Ed Donatel, the Green Bay defensive coordinator, and he has a lot of burden on his shoulders, Troy, with all of those players injured, including Joe Johnson, we mentioned, not playing with a torn tricep. He's out, and Vonnie Holliday, who will be coming back in a few weeks.
Yeah, and he's done a heck of a job in this first half of putting it together and letting these guys play and hold up.
First down and 5, 19 seconds. Pressure on Brady. He's escaped it pretty well today, and he completes to Donald Hayes, but he cannot get out of bounds, and he's at the 45, and the Patriots cannot stop the clock. There's a Packer shaken up, and it's Marcus Wilkins, and that will have to be a charge timeout to Green Bay, and that is going to help the New England Patriots.
That's amazing. All Wilkins had to do was make it to the other side of the line of scrimmage, and he was like a punch-drunk fighter. He was trying to get over there, knowing his team was going to get charged a timeout, and the officials gave it a pretty quick whistle as the Patriots got back to the line of scrimmage and did charge them that timeout. So now the Patriots get a shot at a Hail Mary here.
4 seconds on the clock, so the injury inside 2 minutes, that's the rule. And there was no way, Troy, the Patriots could have stopped the clock. The half would have been history.
Yeah, they couldn't have stopped the clock. I thought Donald Hayes could have done a better job of trying to force the issue and get out of bounds. He was unable to, and a little surprised actually by the, not so much by the play selection. You never know exactly what's called, and there are some guys going deeper down the field, but Tom Brady's choice of throwing it to Donald Hayes for such a short gain, in that situation, you've got to try to force the issue to get the ball down the field and give yourself a realistic shot of getting the ball into the end zone on this next play.
Marcus Wilkins, the undrafted rookie from Texas, being walked off the field. The ball is at the Patriot 45-yard line, and as Chris says, the recipe dialed up has to be Hail Mary right here.
Yeah, and I think one thing about it is that everybody always talks about, you know, throw it down there and maybe we can get a pass interference call. They never call pass interference on a Hail Mary. So the only thing you can hope for is that you can get it all the way into the end zone.
And they got Javon Walker, the wide receiver, in the game as a defensive back to field that pass. So here it is. 4 seconds to go in the first half. And Brady stepping up and into the crowd. And the ball knocked down as There's a flag down, however, with the time running out back at the line of scrimmage.
Remember, the half can't end on a defensive penalty.
Holding 72 offense. The half is over.
And that is the end of the first half here in Foxborough with the score, the Packers 14, the Patriots 3. Stay tuned for the Visa halftime report with JB, Terry, Holly, and Jimmy right after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
You buy Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Those of you watching Green Bay and New England, Brett Favre, 300 career touchdown passes, now tied with John Elway, third all-time. Green Bay 16-0 when they're leading at the half.
All right, Kill, Mississippi loves this young man. Brett Favre rolling out, finds Amon Green, 8-yard touchdown score, 300 touchdown passes, tying with the great John Elway. 88 more touchdown passes than EJB. 14-3 Pack over the Patriots at the half. Giants. Oh, Lions 21-10. Joey Harrington, 2 touchdown passes in this first half. Excellent game for him.
Carolina's top-ranked defense looking good right now. The Panthers on top 7-0. Rodney Peete with a touchdown toss in that game.
Play action. Kerry Collins pumps to the corner. Ike Hilliard, 18-yard touchdown reception. We're all tied up. All tied up. Got a ball game, baby. 10-10 at the half. Falcons and the Giants. Patrick Ramsey from the great state of Louisiana. Huey P. Long, Howie Long's uncle. Ramsey back. Hit while he's chunking. Sammy Knight picks it off. 1 of 3 interceptions in the first quarter alone of young Ramsey. That led to a field goal. Then Brooks back after another pickoff, thrown off his back feet, finds tight end Boo Williams, 2-yard touchdown reception. Brooks again, pressure, guns this one into the back of the end zone. Joe Horn, a 17-yard score, 20-0 Saints. But watch out, baby. Here we go. Ifeanyi Ohalele takes it, baby. 70. That's good. I'll do it again. Ifeanyi Ohalele got a ball game. 29-21.
Terry said he threw off his what?
Back foot.
No.
You know what?
Back feet.
I don't know.
Colts on top of the Ravens right
Back
there.
feet. I said back feet.
Yep. Browns have won 5 straight in this series. Buccaneers are on top. And Houston just 3 points away for scoring 20 for the first time this year. And the Steelers, no contest with the Bengals, 31-0. Howie, Green Bay and New England.
Well, 2 plays that I think really were pivotal in the first half is on the Patriots looking like they'd thrown an incomplete pass. Subsequently was reviewed and recovered by Green Bay, ruled a lateral. That led to Brett's 300th touchdown, 88 more than you, I might add.
I already said that.
When it looked as if the Patriots had held
Didn't
them
I say
to a
that?
field
You
goal
did.
attempt, Seymour's call
Well, you
for
gotta
legal
bring it
hands
up
to the
again.
face. Continuing the drive, they score again.
New England turned it over 9 times the last 2.5 ball games. Thrown 26 passes in this game. They're going to hit that 50, like I said. They need to do exactly what you said, Terry.
And Troy.
Go back, running the ball.
Troy, please take a comb to Chris's hair. Somebody tell him there's something wrong there.
Jimmy has offered his hairstylist from here so that Chris can get some help.
little bit of
with
spray.
that in mind. We'll tell you that they're
Struggled, and they've got the 3 turnovers, and that's been the biggest difference. And Howie, I ran a brush through Chris's hair, and it obviously didn't help much.
Can you believe old porcupine head and make fun of my hair? Butch wax? Shoot. That's looking pretty good now, though. Glue that baby
You can
down.
answer him back, Chris, and you just did. Let's take a look at the halftime numbers.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was talking about. You look at these numbers here, and everything's pretty even until you get right here with the turnovers. And you got New England with 3, and Green Bay able to capitalize on those and get some touchdowns. And that's been the difference in this ball game. And Mike Sherman talked to us yesterday and said he'd like to get 2 turnovers. And if he was able to do that, he felt pretty good about the chances of winning this ball game. And so far, they've got 3.
How about halftime, though, here in Boston? You get lobster sandwiches. I've never gotten anything other than hot dog or hamburger. You get lobster sandwiches.
You're going to
here.
put in for Patriot games now?
Oh, yeah, I like this
We
place.
can't. We do NFC games. Bobbled by Javon Walker on the kickoff, and he stumbles his way to the 30-yard line. Right now, let's check in with Pam Oliver. Stand by.
Hey, Dick. I talked to both coaches at halftime. First, Mike Sherman, who said that we've got to maintain our level of intensity. We need to run a controlled offense to get this, keep the defense off the field, given so many young players. Bill Belichick kept it simple. He said penalties and turnovers are killing us. Back to you.
And that's been the problem for the Patriots the last couple of weeks, but this has been a close to the vest game. No offensive plays of 20 yards for either team. First down at the 28, Ahman Green. And Green dives forward for about 4. He gained 66 yards in the first half. Talk about the miscues, Troy.
Well, there were enough of them. Right here was the interception that Brian Westbrook gets, and just not a real good throw. And this is one that Tom Brady tried forcing in there. And then obviously the one that was the penalty, which allowed them to go down, and then with the backwards lateral, and just several miscues. And the thing about it is it's just such an uncharacteristic thing of a Bill Belichick coach football team.
Chad Clifton will not return. He injured his right knee, and on second down, Favre, and it's knocked down nicely on the pass intended for Terry Glenn by Terrell Buckley.
And on that one right there, Brett Favre had an opportunity to get to the rookie Javon Walker running a post route against Otis Smith. You watch it right here, and he's able to get a step on him, and there's no safety help right here. Brett could have led him to the inside, and unlike last Monday night when he saw Donald Driver, he did not see Javon Walker here.
And if you're wondering about the Terry Glenn return, a lot of talk before the game, but since then, Glenn has caught 2 passes for only 8 yards, and they try to go to him on the last play. So it's 3rd down and 6. Pressure on Favre, and the outplay, and a flag comes flying from deep in the secondary. Javon Walker, the intended receiver, and you can see Brett Favre signal the kicking team to get off the field.
All-out blitz that time by the New England Patriots, trying to force some kind of a hot read, and they got it.
Pass interference, the cornerback, 45, first down.
Well, first of all, we got to get a referee to face the television cameras. They're going to make those calls. But they come on the all-out blitz, and anytime you get one-on-one coverage against Otis Smith, that's where you're going to go with the football. He's been beaten the last couple of weeks on plays, and I guess just the grab of the head, that's not much of a pass interference.
Well, the line judge didn't throw the flag, and now we have a flag thrown immediately.
Go back to that last play, Chris. Javon Walker, after it was incomplete, he just walked off the field onto the sideline. Usually if they think it's pass interference, they'll dispute it. He didn't at all. He didn't think there was anything wrong with the play.
Encroachment, 93 defense. The 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Richard Seymour. So the problems with the penalties and the fact that this has been an undisciplined Patriot team, and Seymour right in the middle of it after Longwell had kicked presumably a field goal to tie the game. Guilty of hands to the face, giving the Packers a first down and ultimately a touchdown. 1st and 5, Green Bay on the 46. Ahman Green will be short of the first down by a good 2 yards.
And Richard Seymour is one of the best nose tackles in the league. I really enjoy watching him play. #1 pick out of Georgia. Very quick guy, jumps around. But he hasn't been a factor in this ball game, and I'm not so sure that he's not getting a little bit frustrated out there. You saw him chunk the hands to the face to keep that one drive alive, and he just hasn't been on his game today.
Yeah, I was going to say he hasn't been a factor as far as performance, but he's definitely been a factor as far as some of the things he's done with the hands to the face, unsportsmanlike penalties.
2nd and 3, and going to his left and hitting the open receiver, Terry Glenn, and a first down. Stays in bounds. And Terry Glenn, who badly wanted to do well against the Patriots and was advised by Brett Favre, said, you know, when Mike Holmgren came from Seattle to Green Bay and wanted to do well, just play within yourself today.
Well, they do a much better job now with Brett Favre rolling to his left. A lot of times they want to keep right-handed quarterbacks staying to their right, and Brett Favre has the ability to throw off balance, and he can do that both ways, and he creates a real problem for defenses when he starts moving to that left.
And the play fake, and Favre, and a good catch, and holding on to the ball is Ahman Green. It was hit by Matt Chatham, and a crunching tackle, but Green held onto it and gets it down to the 35.
Yeah, a little quick dump off. And what did Ahman tell us last night? He said sometimes you have to BYOB. And we said, what's that? You bring your own blocker. I think you need to bring one of his own blockers there.
Well, this is a critical drive for the New England Patriots. I mean, they cannot allow a team to come out and open the second half and drive the football down, especially when you're down big in the ball game already.
2nd down and 4. Play action, and the pass knocked down by Teddy Bruschi. Henderson coming out of the backfield, and Bruschi knocked it down. But you're right, Troy, and you can use play action when you've been successful running Ahman Green the way the Packers have so far.
Well, the Packers have just done a heck of a job of mixing up things, running pass and play action and personnel groupings, and they've got this team really on their heels a little bit. Not so much a great play by Teddy Bruschi there as much as it was a poor throw. If Brett gets that out in front, then Henderson has a chance to catch that ball as well.
3rd and 4. Can the Patriot defense get off the field? Green. And they will. They get to the 34. This would be a long field goal attempt if the Pack goes that way, Chris.
Absolutely perfect call defensively for the Patriots that time. They had both safeties coming up on this side, ran right into the draw play. Easy tackle, just one of those you make a good call at the right time.
Well, and now New England stops him on 3rd down, but because of where the ball is on the 35-yard line, it's in that in-between range, and so now Packers are going for it on 4th down.
And there you see the red line on the monitor.
And the Patriots trying to get a timeout here.
And they get it. So the red line, that's the 4th down line. That means it's more important than even a 3rd down line, which is yellow. Going for it on 4th and 3, passing up what would be a 52-yard field goal. Patriots have the people they want on the field. Favre chased by Bruschi, and the pass is caught by Javon Walker.
Oh, my goodness.
And you can see Favre with a clutch 4th down pass to the rookie and a 10-yard gain, and they move the sticks.
I mean, that's just too good. I mean, there's only one guy I know in the National Football League makes that play. They have absolutely nothing. Walker coming across the field. He's not there. He's not there. Brett just buys time, lobs it in over the top of the defender in a perfect throw. I'm telling you, there's one guy in the NFL who makes that play.
What
Only
touch?
one.
What touch? So the Packers in a 1st down on the Patriot 25. Tony Fisher, the rookie running back, giving Ahman Green a breather for the moment, picking up a couple of yards. So look at Favre, in or out of the pocket, same result it seems.
Yeah, and I don't think that Brett Favre is a quarterback to where you can say, hey, we want to make him sit in the pocket, or some guys you want to do that with, but Brett, he's able to do so much. I mean, if the game requires him to sit in the pocket and be a pocket passer, he's as good as anybody at doing that. If he's got to move around, as we just saw, he can do that with the best of them. I don't know how you defend this guy. They can't get hits on him either.
This is the 10th play of the drive. And Favre has time, throws it, and it is incomplete off the hands of Terry Glenn. He found Glenn open for an instant. Could not convert, so it is 4th down.
And I really,
3rd down, make it.
I really thought Terry Glenn blew that play. He was working against Terrell Buckley back there. Buckley missed him, trying to cut him off across the middle. And then instead of really flying across the field, he just sort of jogs here and gives Buckley a chance to catch up. Should have been a completion, should have caught it anyway.
3rd down. And 8 on the Patriot 23. Favre. And nearly intercepted. It'll go as incomplete. They wanted to get it to Terry Glenn again, and to Bucky Jones. Coming over, deflected the pass away, and now it is 4th down, and Ryan Longwell will come on.
Well, and that's what Bill Belichick had said. We're going to get opportunities to make some plays. We're going to get some hands on the ball defensively. Brett Favre occasionally will give you a chance to make an interception, and you've got to take advantage of it. Right there, they're unable to with the Bucky Jones.
42-yard field goal attempt for Ryan Longwell. And Longwell, who struggled a year ago, misses this one. Ryan Longwell, who had a rough year last season, 2 for 5 with a block against the Bears, is wide left on the field goal attempt, and the score remains 14-3 in favor of the Packers. And the New England Patriots looking to get back in this game. Bill Belichick, Willie McGinnis on the sideline. Nearly 5 minutes gone by. That's why they're called the Patriots. Used to be their logo. Handoff to Antoine Smith. And maybe a yard as we send it down to Pam Oliver.
All right, Dick, before the offense took the field, offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss gathered up the entire group for a little lecture. He calmly told them he wanted perfect technique, no errors, no mistakes. He said it's not time to panic. The score is only 14-3. Back to you.
Well, that's the right thing to do. This is a very, very important drive for this offense. They have got to be able to keep the defense off the field, and they've got to go out down their field and somehow get points.
Second down and 10. Down he goes, back to the 20-yard line. That'll be a loss of 11 yards. And Aaron Campbell, a rookie from the University of Iowa, with the first sack for either team today.
That was the whole group getting pressure up there on this one, and just the whole defensive line moving back, and Campbell in there, and Cledius Hunt, and
everybody,
Niall Diggs, and the whole group. And Tom Brady didn't have much of a chance there, but still, having said that, when you sense pressure somehow, some way, you've got to be able to try to escape that and at least get the ball out and avoid the sack.
He's had pressure even though he's only been sacked this one time. Third down and 20. Spread him out. Pressure come on by Biamila, but the pass is caught at the 40, short of the first down by Deion Branch.
Well, that's just an outstanding job by Tom Brady, stepping up in the pocket. Kabir Baji-Biamila working on this left side against Matt Light. You watch him, and Matt Light does not have great feet, especially when he's working against a speed guy, and Kabir comes off the edge, and Tom Brady does a great job of stepping up.
One of the things I really like about the pass rush of Biamila is the way that he gets his pads so low. You see him sometimes even fall to the ground and crawl to get a quarterback sack. Very difficult for those big tackles to get down on those big pass rushers like that when they dip the corner around.
How about this Packer defense without Bonnie Holiday, Joe Johnson? 3 starters when the year began in the defensive secondary. Right now holding the Patriots to 3. Darian Gordon loses the ball. It's a free ball. And the Patriots going after it. Bucky Jones forced the fumble. And the Packers recover. This could have been a huge break for the New England Patriots to get him back in, Troy, but the Packers hold the fort. Bucky Jones forced the fumble and then the scramble. And the Packers are right there. Torrance Marshall, a big part of it all.
Guys are counting on. Hi.
Nice pants. What have they been?
Presenting Dockers Go Khaki with Stain Defender. See?
And gets the Packers out of danger. They started back on the 6th, and they pick up 9 yards.
Bucky Jones, one of the top special teams players on this Patriots team, and Bryant Westbrook and Marcus Anderson just let him go right by and gets a huge shot on Darian Gordon. But he was clearly bobbling the ball anyway, but it was really the lack of effort by Westbrook and Anderson that set that up. And then Larry Izzo had the ball and just had it stripped away from him by Torrance Marshall.
So for the record, it is not a fumble, it is a muff by Gordon. Handoff Green, and Ben Kelly coming up from the secondary to make a big defensive play after there was a 2nd down and 1, and it'll be 3rd down and a little more than 1 now for Green Bay.
That was a great play, number 31 here, Ben Kelly. Watch what he does. He comes out, takes on William Henderson, spins around, has the presence, and clogs it up and makes a tackle. I'm not so sure that's what he had planned when he wheeled, but it was a nice play of getting in the lane and clogging it up.
And a big defensive moment for the Patriots, and their fans are on their feet. 3rd and 2. Again on the rollout, and the pass caught by Bubba Franks, and a first down. So he continues to pull the rabbit out of the hat. This time a 16-yard gain, and the Packers moved the sticks when they were backed up. Lawyer Malloy makes the stop on the big tight end.
Yeah, what Brett tell us last week, that his mother-in-law was saying that not throwing the ball enough to the tight end. You got to get the ball to your tight end. So Maybe he got the hotline coming in here.
Well, he's looking for Bubba Franks the whole way, and talking last night with Brett about Bubba Franks. Bubba Franks a big target in the red zone, and he's become a bigger part of this offense in the middle of the field as well.
Longest play by the Packers offense today, 16 yards. Ahman Green is going to lose a yard. Maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and an aroused Patriot defense, but again on third down, not making those stops. Ahman Green has made it happen today as a rusher and a passer as he's approaching the 90-yard mark, and a blocker as well on the blitz, and then a touchdown reception to give the Packers a 14-3 lead.
And guys, I think Ty Law is hurting the ball game. Ben Kelly is taking his place.
That's absolutely right. And there's a pass, Javon Walker, and it is nearly picked off, and a flag goes down. So Kelly defending Walker downfield, and a penalty flag down, and it will go apparently against
the Patriots. They went right after Ben Kelly. It just dawned on me that Ty Law.
Pass interference, 31 defense. That's the first down.
Just constantly harassing him all the way down the field and pushing off there at the last second. The crowd doesn't like it, but I think it's a good call.
Boy, that's an absolute killer penalty for any defensive football team. Probably the worst penalty you can have in a game is pass interference, especially on a deep ball, and they get the yardage. It's just it's a momentum changer for sure.
34-yard penalty against New England, and here is Favre, and leads and gets it to Bubba Franks, who is tripped up at the 30-yard line by Mike Vrabel, and there is Ty Law, who has been out a while now, and that's why Ben Kelly was in the game at cornerback. So interesting, with all of the Packers secondary problems, an injury to a Patriot cornerback affecting this game now.
Yeah, and Brett Favre is looking over to Ben Kelly's way on every snap of the ball now. He's going to try and work over here. This time it's Donald Driver. Right down here.
Second down and 4. Favre looking his way, and Driver making the reception inside the 10-yard line, again beating Kelly. What did Favre tell us? I don't look to go after a guy. It looks like he was in the last 2 plays, Troy.
Well, they better get him some help. I mean, it's obvious, as Chris pointed out, that not only are they giving him single coverage with Ben Kelly, but he's also coming up and pressing him. Here he's pressing Donald Driver. Brett gives him a chance. Donald Driver goes up over the top, makes a nice reception, but you can't come into the ball game and expect to play man-to-man press coverage against Donald Driver, who's the hottest receiver they've got right now on their team.
And why play man-to-man when you know you've got a weak spot in there like that?
28-yard gain. Bill Ferrario reports to the official as an eligible receiver. Here's the toss to the end zone. Touchdown, Bubba Franks. Bubba Franks with a big grab in the end zone. And you wonder what can happen next to the Patriots, and Brett Favre is burning them at every instance with Ty Law on the sideline.
Well, this is why Bubba Franks is such a huge weapon for this Packer offense. He's a big guy, big target. Brett loves throwing him the football down here. He's got great hands, and Brewski's on pretty good coverage, but Brett puts the ball in the only place that Bubba can bring it in, and he's able to.
It was first and goal on the 2, so it winds up to be a 2-yard touchdown pass, and Ryan Longwell adds the extra point. And really, it's a shocker when you consider the Packers coming off a high Monday night and then going against a hungry Patriot team and leading 21-3.
Okay, Vegas.
Sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. By Sam Adams Light, shockingly great taste. By Snickers, don't let hunger happen to you. And by Volkswagen, on the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
You consider the twists and turns in this game, and that man Brett Favre turning the screws. They started on the 6-yard line after the near coughing it up by Darian Gordon. The Patriots could not recover. Favre brought him downfield. Crucial passes to Bubba Franks, including the TD toss, his 3rd of the game. And here's Patrick Pass on the return of the kickoff. Flag is down. And another one as well. A pass pass is tackled at the 32-yard line. So Favre was 4 for 4 on the drive.
58 of the return team during the run back. 10-yard penalty, first down.
At Chatham.
And, you know, all the talk about Brett Favre, it's the finesse that has been making the difference today, not the fastball.
The touch pass. Favre taking advantage of Ty Law's replacement, Ben Kelly, and getting the ball downfield. The pass interference call on Kelly helping things.
And when you're in Boston, you don't pronounce your R's, so you've just been fived. Fived.
As in habit.
Right.
Patriots begin from their 17. To rookie David Gibbons as we send it down to Pam Oliver.
Dick, at first glance, the Patriots trainers seem to be checking Ty Law out for possible concussion. I saw them check Law's balance. They played follow my finger, but so far the preliminary report is Law has the wind knocked out of him. Back to you.
All right, Pam, and the Patriots going without a huddle on 2nd down and 2. And the out. And it is knocked down. Good defensive play by Brian Westbrook on David Patton.
That looks more like a concussion than it does the wind knocked out. When you're wearing your mouthpiece backwards, probably not a very good sign. He looks like he's taking a pretty good shot.
3rd down and 2. Patriots trailing 21-3. And Tom Brady with the quarterback sneak. He's done that 3 times today and getting a first down on all 3 occasions.
And you know, really, the Patriots, Troy, have been running the football fairly effectively. They just had to get out of it because they were so far behind in the ball game. But I think it does beg the question, is this team getting too far away from what made them successful last year? And that's running the ball.
There you see the rushing numbers, only 65 yards for the New England Patriots. They'll get yardage on the pass play. David Patton breaks a tackle, and he'll have the first down up to the 45. That's France, Todd France, who can play safety as well as cornerback. Originally a draft pick by the Detroit Lions and pressed into action with all of the Green Bay injuries in the secondary. That was the first catch today, by the way, by Patton. Picked up 13. And the play selection by New England. They have a first down to the Patriots, and Brady over the middle and over the head of Christian Fourier.
Well, there's no question if you look at the New England Patriots and their skilled players against what they're going against today with the Green Bay Packers, to a man and to a matchup, it would favor the New England Patriots. Yet, as we've talked about, they've been unable to take advantage of that. And why exactly? It just doesn't seem like Tom Brady's in a real sync. There's been times when there's been some guys open, he hasn't been able to get him the football. Other times when they just haven't been able to make plays.
From the 45-yard line, 2nd down, and going for the deep play, and the pass knocked away by Brian Westbrook on Patton again, and a flag will go down, and the Patriots will get the advantage on this one. Westbrook, who had an interception earlier in the game, and this appears to be pass interference against Green Bay.
Pass interference.
England first.
32 defense. That's an automatic first down.
Same exact play that Ben Kelly got called on the other side of the football field. So if you're going to call it on him, you had to call this one as well.
Yeah, the hardest thing on a defensive back is when the ball is underthrown and not colliding with the wide receiver. More times than not, you are, and you're going to get that call. Pass interference every time.
So the 30-yard penalty giving the Patriots a first down on the Packer 25. They need points, and they need them soon. Flag down. And this pass caught by Donald Hayes, but there is another flag.
No question about it. Holding on Matt Light over here on the left tackle position.
Holding. 72 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
If this continues the way it's going, I hate to see this bye week coming up for these Patriots and what Bill Belichick will have in store.
And Aaron Catman's really had a pretty nice ball game all day long. Light has been doing a good job against Kabir Bajaj-Biamila, and then Aaron Catman goes over there and blows right past him.
10 penalties for over 100 yards for the Patriots. First down and 20 on the 35 of Green Bay. Pressure put on Brady, and he gets rid of the ball. Marcus Wilkins, who was shaken up earlier in the game, you remember, putting the chase on for Tom Brady, bringing up second down and 20.
And here's a look at Troy Brown, and you wonder if maybe that knee brace is bothering him a little bit. He just doesn't seem like he's running as well as what he's capable of. And
that's not Troy Brown. That's not the guy that went to the Pro Bowl. That's not the guy that dominated all the way through the playoffs. He's got a brace on his knee. That's a play. If he snaps his head around, comes back to Tom Brady, he's going to get the completion.
Second down and 20. There's that brace that he's wearing for the first time. Brady on the fake, drills it, and it's intercepted by Marcus Anderson and the rookie free safety. And it's Tom Brady who makes the tackle on Anderson. So the rookie from UCLA, Troy's alma mater, comes up big. And what contribution the Packers are getting from their backups and people who never expected to play today.
Well, and this is the kind of day that it's been for Tom Brady. He's got a chance here for David Patton. It's a two-man route. David Patton's going to the post. It's a touchdown if Tom Brady's just able to get the ball over the head of Marcus Anderson, and he's not able to do it. He throws a line drive in there rather than getting a little air under it. You'll see Tom Brady working back into it to make the tackle, and just not a very good throw by Tom Brady.
22-yard return by Anderson.
Good tackle, though.
And on first down, Ahman Green for a couple of yards. And now, with nearly a minute remaining in the third quarter, it's been a rough day for Tom Brady. Last 9 quarters, which include the 2-game losing streak. Look at those numbers. Under 60% completions, more interceptions than TDs.
You know, you just have to wonder, and I go back to it. This is a team that won the Super Bowl a season ago, and Terry Bradshaw alluded to it in the pregame show, that you run the ball, you play defense, you don't make mistakes, and you win a Super Bowl. Then you come back the next season, and they're throwing it all over the park.
Fans look awfully glum here in Foxborough. Second down, and here is Green. Ahman Green, and no one can tackle him. Green, and finally goes down. He slid through everybody in the Patriot defense. Ahman Green, and finally Lawyer Malloy hangs on, but not before. Ahman Green gains 38 yards for Green Bay, and a big run.
Ahman Green, you see him going through the line, and we talk about the balance and the power and the burst that he has, and he's just a hard guy to bring down. You see him trying to bring him down by a hand and an arm, and it just doesn't work. You see Robert Ferguson downfield blocking. That's usually what happens when you have a running back that's able to get those kinds of yards on a running play. And
120 yards rushing for Green, and that is the end of the third quarter, with the Packers leading the Patriots 21-3. And the NFL on Fox will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Again, the New England Patriots guys are falling prey to big running games. LaDainian Tomlinson, Priest Holmes the week before that, Ricky Williams gained over 100 yards, and now a big game for Green.
You know, I know, but the focal point for me ever since Howie's making fun of my hair, I've been just trying to get it pushed back down here. I know the Patriots have problems, but when I have to turn to Jimmy Johnson for hairspray, it's just not good. It's not good.
There you see the 3 rushers who have really scalded the Patriots, and now Green the 4th, and Green tries to turn around. 622 yards in 4 games on the ground. That is Bill Belichick-like for his team, and he didn't want to talk about anything about last year when we talked to him. He's just worried about this year, and now he has some cause to worry.
Well, and you talk about why teams have been able to run the football effectively against this defense, and one of the main reasons is that front 4 is they don't do a real good job of coming off blocks. Richard Seymour is an outstanding football player. The rest of those guys are pretty good guys collectively, but not great as any one individual. And Even when they get 8 guys in the box, they just haven't been able to fill their lanes, and it's showing up again here today.
Rain falls again on 3rd down and 2, and the pass to Glenn, and the flag is down out of the hands of Glenn, who is defended by Terrell Buckley, but the penalty will go against the Patriots.
Terrell Buckley just grabbed his head as he did a little head fake to the inside and tried to blow by him.
31 defense. That's a first down.
They call it on Ben Kelly.
I don't think so. I think it's right here. That's where they threw the flag anyway.
It'll be a first down for the Packers, and many of the fans continue to brave the elements as you see the play again. Kelly was off to the left, you saw in that replay, but apparently it was against Buckley.
Ben saying, I've had a tough enough day, don't lay another one on me.
1st and goal at the 4, and the handoff on the fake, Green, and he is driven back by Teddy Bruschi for a loss of 1. Well, in the AFC East, the New England Patriots coming in a game behind the Miami Dolphins, who are playing at Denver tonight.
About time to put one of those right there. You know, the other thing that you've got to keep in mind, there's only 2 wild cards now in either conference. It's not like it was last year in the last few years where there have been 3 wild cards. And when you consider what's going on in the AFC West with all the good teams out there, it's going to be very difficult for New England to get one of the wild cards.
There'll be someone disappointed out west for sure, Chris. 2nd and goal. Here is Ahman Green diving in, and he is stopped short. Roman Pfeiffer was the man in the middle, a pickup of 5 yards for Green. Notice how the Packers immediately went to Green early and set the tone for this game, Troy.
Well, they certainly did, and I think they know how important he is. And Brett Favre obviously gets the headlines, and rightfully so. He's the guy that makes this whole thing happen. But Ahman Green is such an integral part of this offense, and such a great runner, great power runner. And I just can't say enough good things about him. I think he's exceptional.
3rd down and goal at the 1-yard line, and here is Green.
There's only 2 wild cards now in either conference. It's not like it was last year in the last few years where there have been 3 wild cards. And when you consider what's going on in the AFC West with all the good teams out there, it's going to be very difficult for New England to get one of the wild cards.
There'll be someone disappointed out west for sure, Chris. 2nd and goal. Here is Ahman Green diving in, and he is stopped short. Roman Pfeiffer was the man in the middle, a pickup of 5 yards for Green. Notice how the Packers immediately went to Green early and set the tone for this game, Troy.
Well, they certainly did, and I think they know how important he is. And Brett Favre obviously gets the headlines, and rightfully so. He's the guy that makes this whole thing happen. But Ahman Green is such an integral part of this offense, and such a great runner, great power runner. And I just can't say enough good things about him. I think he's exceptional.
3rd down and goal at the 1-yard line, and here is Green. And Green gets the touchdown. So every time Ahman Green has gained 100 or more yards in a Packer uniform, 12 previous times the Packers have won all 12, and now they open up a more than commanding lead as he scores his 1st rushing touchdown of the year and his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And now we see the fans for the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots filing out on them as they did in the years gone by. And we still have 12 minutes to go in the ball game.
Ryan Longwell with the extra point, and it is 28-3. So Brett Favre with 3 touchdown passes, including his 300th of his career, but it's that man, Ahman Green, who has set the tone.
Time sandwiches.
Without the shell, I might add. It was lobster without the shell. Not quite the same. Long day for Charlie Weiss and Tom Brady as the Packers. Ryan Longwell prepares to kick off. Big day for that man, Ahman Green. Kevin Falk, as the rain is heavier now in Foxborough, and Falk brings it out to the 34-yard line. Brett Favre gives credit where credit is due to his offensive linemen. And you guys said that in bad weather, Brett Favre is as good as he ever is, and he was today. We'll be right back.
And
We had a scoreless first quarter, and Adam Vinatieri put the Patriots in front 3-0, and since then 28 unanswered points by the Packers. And everything affecting the Patriots today, more yards than penalties, but not by a lot. First down. Brady getting rid of it, and with the rain coming down, he's got David Patton out there for a short gain. The October magical matchups continue. Coming up later today, it'll be Game 5 between the Twins and the Angels. Joe Mays for Minnesota, who won Game 1, trying to capture the deciding game. Kevin Agbier will be pitching for the Angels. Hand off to Antoine Smith. First down as he gets close to midfield. And then tonight it'll be the Cardinals and the Giants in the fourth game of the NLCS, with the Giants lead now 2-1. There are the two starting defensive backfield performers, Darren Sharper and Mike McKenzie, unable to go today. Smith to the 45-yard line. The Atlanta Falcons defeat the New York Giants 17-10, and they do it without Michael Vick. Falcons win it, and the Giants go to 3-3 on the year. Second down and 2, or 3 yards to go. And Brady still on his feet. Penalty down. Pass to David Patton. Patton on the crossing pattern gets to the 25, gain of 20, but a flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage. And this appears to be against New England. That's the second time illegal hands to the face against the Patriots. Once
illegal
on the
use of hands, 70 offense, hands to the face, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Adrian Clem, who's at right guard right now. Greg Robinson Randall has moved into right tackle as they have sent in the reserves on the offensive line for New England.
Right now you've got steam coming out of the head of Bill Belichick. This guy, if he stands for anything during the course of his entire career, you do not do stupid things on the football field. And this has just been a horrible stretch right now for the Patriots.
And the handoff to Antoine Smith out of the shotgun. And you're absolutely right, Chris. You know, last week they fell behind early, and they had to pass. They were in this game, and then they started to make these kinds of mistakes that upended them.
Yeah, and I don't think you can say enough about the job that Ed Donatel, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, or Bob Slowick, the job that he's done in getting this team ready to play on a short week after coming off a Monday night game and with the injuries that they've had.
Third down, knocked away, and ultimately it was Todd McBride knocking it away from Troy Brown. And that's true, Troy, because as you look at Bob Slowick.
Yeah, and I had an opportunity to talk with Ed Donatel. That's Bob Slowick, the secondary coach, and he's done an outstanding job. And Ed Donatel, I talked to him before the game and talked to him about some of these defensive backs that weren't going to be playing and what are you going to do. And he said, obviously, you'd like to have your starters in there, but hey, we'll be fine. We'll do some things, and we'll give them some problems. And I think that was a real understatement.
And you have the wild card at quarterback. Brett Favre, who today threw his 300th touchdown pass of an illustrious career. Packers are going to let it bounce. And when you consider that Green Bay has a 1-6 record after they have played the Chicago Bears on a short week on the road, underscores even more what they have accomplished today.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Ford. No boundaries.
Well, they've got brave fans, hardy fans in New England, but the rain and the score makes it hard for some of them to hang in there as Ahman Green picking up a couple of yards. Brett Favre passing Johnny Unitas into 7th place on the all-time career passing list. He joined the exclusive club, as we showed you earlier, with his 300th career touchdown pass.
Well, and you can't say enough good things about Brett Favre, and he's passed some great people today, as you mentioned, in the touchdown passes and then in passing Johnny Unitas in yardage. And he's still got a long way to go to get to the top, though, with Dan Marino.
He might get there, though. Just depends on how long he's played.
He'll have to play a little bit longer.
Lions and Vikings are tied up, and Ahman Green
gets a couple of yards. Well, this has got to be a heartwarming homecoming for Mike Sherman, who was born in Norwood, Massachusetts, and attended Algonquin Regional High School in nearby Northborough. And that's what he looked like as a player. Then in the mid to late 50s, he was an assistant coach and offensive coordinator at the College of Holy Cross in Worcester, and had a great time. Talking to him last night, he said, I remember in 1976 going to Fenway Park to watch Louis Tiant and his friend Mark the Bird Fidrich of the Tigers pitch. Like so many Boston fans. And the pass is incomplete.
Who was calling those games for the Red Sox, Dick?
Well, I called a few of them back then, I might add, and he remembered that. But he also said he attended in Fenway Park a Boston Patriots game, because as you may remember, they came into the AFL in 1960 and played everywhere in town. They played at Fenway Park, Boston University Field, Boston College Alumni Field, Harvard Stadium.
You're starting to show your age, Dick.
Just good in history, Troy. I remember when you were playing. Here's the punt on 4th down by Josh Bidwell. Kevin Falk on the return gets into Packer territory and is stopped at the 45-yard line by Rob Davis. 8 minutes precisely remaining in the game. 28-3 Packers. It's remaining here in the 4th quarter. The Packers leading the Patriots 28-3. Patriots on the Packer 44. Tom Brady going underneath and dropping the pass is Antoine Smith.
I realize it's a tough day. It's raining outside. It's kind of sloppy. The ball's wet and all that. But well, the Patriots just haven't done a whole lot right today and dropping balls. And probably the only thing they have done fairly well when you look at their yards per carry is run the football. They've been averaging over 4 yards a carry, which is pretty good in the NFL.
And penalty markers.
Well, there's a completion, though.
Yeah.
Encroachment.
That baby out there.
98 defense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Billy Lyon encroachment. There are the numbers for the two quarterbacks today. The 147 looks like it's even, but then you look at touchdowns and interceptions, and that's the story.
When you wonder how long they're going to leave Tom Brady in the ball game right now and let him get exposed to getting hit.
There's a handoff to Antoine Smith out of the shotgun. Smith with a hard hit. And it was Bryant Westbrook and his own man who's down on the field, and David Patton is down on the field. And he is slow getting up.
They always want to know, Dick, why wide receivers don't like to block. Because sometimes that happens to you. And Bryant Westbrook, who's had a huge game, just stiff arms David Patton right back into his own ball carrier. Look at that. Bryant Westbrook just slams him back in. That looked like a 400-pound bench press there.
And Patton is down, and while he is, let's send it out to James Brown in Los Angeles for a game break. JB.
Hey, Dick, to show you how Minnesota tied it up, looking for its first victory of the season. Dante Culpepper, a little screen pass to Michael Bennett. Nice blocking there. Nice blocking here. Speed here. 45 yards to pay dirt. It's all knotted at 24. Back to Dick, Troy, Chris, and Pam.
JB, I think that's been his first touchdown of his career. I had him on my fantasy team for 2 years. I don't think he's ever scored one that long before.
So David Gibbons replaces Patton, who is on the sideline now. Helmet on. First down on the 27. Here's Antoine Smith again. Smith bouncing outside, and Smith getting to about the 20-yard line. Will be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Aaron Campman making the stop for the Packers. Just amazed at how this Green Bay Packer team has come up with such a big effort today. Depleted in so many positions on defense, and they have not allowed a touchdown at this point. Here's Smith. Big room up the middle, and Smith getting close to the 5-yard line. A gain of 14 on the play.
And I realize we're at the end of the ball game and a hurry-up drill, and they're playing cautiously on defense. But really, the Packers on defense, they haven't changed their approach that much throughout the course of the game. This is something I think the Patriots could have done a lot of today. They were so cautious with those new guys in the secondary.
Smith gaining 75 on the ground and a chance for more. Or less, and it's going to be a little more. Marcus Anderson making the tackle, and we have under 6.5 to play here in the game.
Well, and right now, this New England offense just trying to come out of this thing with regaining some confidence. Well, obviously, they lost a tremendous amount of confidence during the course of the first 3.5 quarters, and they're just trying to get something going and get something on the board.
2nd and goal from the 4. Brady firing, and it is caught by David Gibbons, who is drafted on the last round by the New England Patriots out of Notre Dame. 4-yard touchdown catch, and the first touchdown given up by the Packers today.
And Tom Brady, you take a look, and he sees him on the back line there, and really an outstanding throw by Tom Brady, who's under some pressure, much like he has been throughout the day. And to hang in there and make this throw, that's where you want to throw that pass, is up high and give your receiver a chance.
And not only is that his first NFL catch, it is, of course, his first NFL touchdown. That'll be a memory. Adam Vinatieri adding the extra point, and the Packer lead now is 28-10.
You know, when you take a look at Tom Brady, and obviously everybody knows last year, the season that he had coming in off the bench in place of Drew Bledsoe and going on and leading this team to the Super Bowl. And you just wonder, and I wonder as a former player and knowing what it's like to go on and win a Super Bowl, that it doesn't get any better than what it was last year for Tom Brady. I mean, as many years as he has ahead of him and as bright a future as he has and as good a player as he is, it will never be as good as it was last season coming off the bench and winning that Super Bowl for the first time. And you wonder how someone's going to be able to react to that. I mean, obviously he wins the first 3 games this season, comes into this ball game having lost 2 in a row for the first time in his very young career. Now it looks like he's going to go on and lose 3 in a row, and how he reacts and how this team reacts is going to be something to be seen. But you know, Tom Brady's he had it as good as it could be right from the beginning.
Do you think that he is the kind of guy, though, that you can put everything on his back the way they've done during the course of this season, ask him to throw the ball 40, 50 times and do it all? I mean, John Elway really was not John Elway until Terrell Davis came along. Even Brett Favre, you know, until he ended up with Amon Green on this team, it was difficult for him to get it going a little bit. I just don't believe in that one-sided approach that we've seen so far from the Patriots. I know they've had trouble running the ball, but I don't think that's the right approach for this thing.
28-10, so the Patriots score after 28 unanswered points by the Packers. Adam Vinatieri kicking off, and Darian Gordon picking it up and will go out of bounds deep in his own territory. Well, it has not been a pleasant day for the Patriots, but that man and his great spirit is the reason why they have a great stadium here. Robert Kraft, the chairman and owner of the club, has a chance for hugs and kisses despite his team being down. He's so proud that he was able to build a state-of-the-art stadium here without personal seat licenses. And really, for the fan, he's giving back, he feels, to the great fans of Boston, of which he was one.
Yeah, and it's really obvious how proud he is, and rightfully so, of this stadium and what he's been able to do for these fans here. And he took us on a tour Friday and showed us the stadium and showed us the boxes and everything about it. And this is as good as it gets in the National Football League right now. And these fans for the New England Patriots have Bob Kraft to thank.
How many owners were once ticket-buying fans of the team that they own? Not many. Amon Green getting a couple as the Packers starting from their 6-yard line. And Green, say who's the star of the game? Well, it's always Brett Favre, especially with 3 touchdown passes and no interceptions. But Amon Green has been really the guy that has made it go today with 133 yards, a touchdown rushing, a touchdown receiving. Favre with 3 touchdowns, no mistakes, and Bubba Franks with 5 catches in a TD pass.
But when we talked to Amon Green last night, what did he say? The way you attack the Patriots, go right at them. Go right at them. Not outside, go right at them. And that's what they've done.
And the handoff to Green. And, of course, in this game, Terry Glenn's return, and he has not had a notable game number-wise. He has 3 catches for 19 yards, thrown off kilter a little bit there, and a pass in and out of his hands. But as Brett Favre told him, look, you may catch 10, you may catch 1, but if you walk off the field with the W, with the victory, you will have gotten the job done. And he did talk to some of his former teammates, and there you see Favre and Glenn got to be satisfied.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't matter how he performed. If he could have played great, and if this team loses, then he would have walked off feeling disappointed. I'm sure he's a happy man right now.
3rd down and 5. Favre. And the crowd cheering. Brett Favre going down. Bobby Hamilton. And a loss of 4 yards, and he is sacked for the first time in this game.
Yeah, it's off play action, and then there's Lawyer Malloy, which is what forces Brett to move back out. You never want to leave your feet as a defender like Lawyer did, but fortunately he had help from his friends coming on the backside to get Brett. Good play by Bobby Hamilton.
Patriots have called a timeout. They have 1 left. And there you see the Minnesota Vikings forging in front of the Detroit Lions, 31-24. Down by 18 points. So they need 3 scores, do the Patriots, to pull off a miracle against Mike Sherman's crew with 4:20 to go. Josh Bidwell will punt from his end zone. And you know the Patriots would have liked to have gotten a piece of it, but they were kept out. Kevin Falk on the return, and he'll bring it into Packer territory to the 44-yard line. Well, we got baseball. The October magical matchups continue. Coming up, Twins and Angels, the 5th and deciding game. And the winner moves on to the World Series. The Cardinals and Giants, game 4. And the road team has won every game of that series. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver will be in San Francisco. And Tom Brenneman and Steve Lyons in this best of 7. So the series continues in both locations. And first and 10 at the 44. And Brady goes down back in his own territory.
I tell you, that's just
Bill Lyon.
That's a heck of a play by Billy Lyon right there, just basically going right through the offensive lineman. And that's the kind of player he is. I mean, here it is. They're up by 18 points, and he's still playing hard.
And the Patriots are still playing hard, lining up quickly on 2nd down and 17. Completion to the 40-yard line. Still needing about 6 yards for the first down to David Givens.
I don't know, Troy. You may have to use your rally monkey for the Patriots here. They seem to be trying to put one together here. Of course, you're the big Angels fan. You're carrying your rally monkey around with you everywhere you go. Maybe it'll work.
I got it up here with me today, no question. The Patriots need some kind of rally monkey.
I hope we show it with you. That would be a treat for all of us. And the pass caught by Antoine Smith. Well, we talk about the rally monkey. Here he is. Troy, show the folks.
Well, that's him. I mean, it's not the official monkey. I understand that. But from what I understand, a monkey's a monkey. And if it's a monkey, it's a rally monkey. And so I've got it up here in the booth. And we'll see what the Angels can do.
He's falling on his back. We got to prop it up again. And the receiver was down, Deion Branch. Pass from Brady was incomplete, and for a game break, let's go to James Brown. JB.
Hey, Dick, Minnesota looking for its first victory ever. 5 plays, 48 yards, capped with that Mo Williams touchdown run. His 4th TD of the season. Minnesota on top, 31-24 late. Back to Dick, Troy, and Chris.
Wild game there as the Lions and Vikings. So the 4th down incomplete pass, and the Packers get the ball on downs. As you look at the NFC North, Green Bay coming in with a 2-game lead over the Chicago Bears. And we'll go 5-1. Pretty good start, Chris.
Sure is, and you've got to wonder right now whether or not they're the team to beat in the NFC. We saw San Francisco last week look pretty good, too.
Ahman Green with a 1 yard on the play. And, of course, the Eagles, who have only stumbled against AFC teams thus far.
You know, I tell you, Troy, there's nothing that feels any better at all. When you're on the road, you're playing in this kind of environment, and you turn around, you look up in the stands, and everybody's leaving. You know, it's so hard to win anywhere in the National Football League on the road. You come in and knock off the world champs like this, you feel pretty good.
There's no question about that. As a player, yeah, and you're on the road, and knowing you got a great ride home. And in fact, Mike Stevepak used to talk about it all the time when we were out on the field about what it meant going home on a plane ride like that, and knowing you had a big win on the road. It's a lot of fun.
I never heard Mike say that, but I'll take your word for it. 2-minute warning. We'll be right back.
Fox
lead the Patriots 28-10. Game 5 of the ALCS coming up next. Nothing will be decided there except who takes a 3-2 lead. And then tonight, Game 4 between the Cardinals and the Giants in the best of 7. Winners move on to the World Series. Ahman Green, who has career-high 31 carries in this game. But Brett Favre again comes up with a big effort.
Yeah, there's just something about this guy and the passion for football that he brings. We always have meetings with the players the night before the ball games, and most of the guys are looking at their watches and they can't wait to get out of there, and they try and say as little as they possibly can. And Brett Favre will sit and talk football with you as long as you want to. I mean, literally, there are times we have to say, all right, Brett, we have to go to a meeting here. You know, it's time for you to go. He loves to sit around and talk football. He has a passion for the game, regardless of the money. He plays it because he loves it.
End around to Donald Driver, and Driver gets about 4 yards. So I don't know if Mike Sherman is satisfied with this lead, Troy.
No, I don't know that he is either. Chris, to follow up on what you said, I think, you know, Brett Favre, for entertainment, mows his own grass and uses his weed eater in the offseason. You know, he said that's how he keeps his arm in shape. He doesn't throw a lot of passes, and obviously a guy who gets entertained pretty easily. So talking to us, that must have been a real thrill for him.
So now you're saying that on a comparative basis, the two things that he really likes to do is talk to us and use a weed eater, but he doesn't know which one he likes better. I understand that. Dick feels the same way.
I got the feeling weed eater is number 1. And the football stuff may be 1A after all he's done.
Dick, you asked me what a weed eater was after he told us about that.
Yeah, I don't even know how to spell it. 4th down. No one is back for the Patriots as Josh Bidwell kicks, and finally running back is Kevin Falk. Grabs it on the 25-yard line. Well, the New England Patriots started out in high fashion this year, winning their first 3 games and scoring a lot of points. As you can see, going over the 40 mark twice, but what has happened the last 3 weeks? 37 total points.
You know, I think there was a little shock value around the league in those games. But then you get down to these games and people start to game plan and start knowing what you're doing. You're spreading them out and doing all those other things. And now all of a sudden it's not quite as big a surprise. And you're just another team that wants to go play the run and shoot offense.
First down at the 25 with under a minute to go. Incomplete to Christian Fourier as we send it back out to Los Angeles and James Brown.
Hey, Dick, under a minute to go as well in Dallas. Take a look at this 4th and 14 play. Quincy Carter whips this one, hooks up with Antonio Bryant, who holds on to it. 24-yard strike, and it is now 14-13 Dallas. 56 seconds left in regulation. Back to Dick.
So the Cowboys are coming back after losing to the Giants a week ago.
And he missed Antonio Bryant on the final play last week. It would have been a touchdown, maybe not the final play, but would have been a touchdown to win for the Cowboys. Comes back and makes that juggling catch to win this one.
Well, a game produced today by Richie Zients, who no stranger to the New England area, attended Boston University. Directed by Artie Kempner, our associate directors Greg Scopatoni and Derek Manning. Jacob Ullman, Jeremy Green, our broadcast associates. As the pass complete to Dion Branch, technical director Rich Basili. Dave Hill, the technical producer, audio mixer Fred Aldous, and the pregame show directed by Bob Levy, produced by Scott Ackerson, the associate director Jennifer Love, studio technical supervisor Jonathan X. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And here's Antoine Smith. But guys, I've enjoyed it as time runs out. Filling in for Joe Buck here for a couple of weeks.
Great having you with us, Dick.
And the Green Bay Packers, and this is an unlikely victory today because they had all the cards stacked against them, and they come into New England and win 28-10. We'll be back here at Foxborough in just a moment. It's a comfortable victory over New England and a big surprise, really. And the UPS delivering a chance for you to big screen TV to watch the big game. The leaderboard, Brett Favre, 3 touchdown passes, including his career 300. Amon Green, a brilliant game, 2 touchdowns, and Bubba Franks, the receiver. Just log on to foxsports.com. So for Troy Aikman, Chris Collinsworth, Pam Oliver, Dick Stockton, so long from Foxborough. Right now, let's send it to our studios in Los Angeles. So long, everybody.
It's the Autotrader.com Game Break, brought to you by Autotrader.com. With the most certified pre-owned vehicles, it's the ultimate automotive classified site.
Torrey Hunter, all-star center fielder for the Twins, hoping to power his squad to a victory to take it back to the Metrodome. He'll be on display coming up in Game 5 of the ALCS, as will Darren Erstad, the Angels star outfielder, who leads all players in postseason hits with 14. As we welcome you inside here to Studio 2A and the Autotrader.com Game Break Show. Full house here as we get set to get you caught up on what's been taking place around the National Football League. Green Bay and New England. Green Bay knocks it up 28-10. New England, 3rd straight loss.
All right, Brett Favre has a big day. 3 touchdown passes on the day. Here's the one right here. This will pass out to Amon Green, an 8-yarder that ties him with John Elway with 300 touchdown passes. Favre back again. Hooks up with Bubba Franks. Play action, lays it out over the head. Bubba Franks, beautiful catch, 2-yarder, 301st career TD pass, 3rd all-time now on the list for touchdown passes is Brett Favre. He salutes the crowd. 28-10, Green Bay on top. Big win for them today. Joey Harrington.
Of the Patriots, which used to be the home of Terry Glenn, has some friends still on the team and has some new friends on his team. Brian Westbrook just signed this week by the Packers, picks off Tom Brady, and it went Foxborough. Then Brett Favre. I mean, you know, we've seen this for 10 years, but you laugh, you smile. He hits Terry Glenn. Longwell kicks a field goal, but Richard Seymour smacking Mike Wally in the face. Illegal use of hands. Mike Sherman takes the field goal off the board because he's got Favre. William Henderson, touchdown, 7-3. Pack. Late second. Ensuing drive. The Patriots guilty of not paying attention. It's a lateral to Kevin Falk. Live ball. It's live. And the Packers finally jump on the ball.
Yeah, an obvious close call here. You can see Brady releases the ball. Falk and he look about even. The official didn't see it that way, and they didn't see enough conclusive evidence to overturn the call.
How about playing the whistle? When the whistle blows, then you know it's not a ball in play. Favre to Amon Green. Touchdown. And so the turnover. How many times have you seen Brett Favre late in the half put the dagger in you, Tom? Brett Favre is now the 4th quarterback in history to get to 300 TD passes. How about this throw? Backpedaling against his body on a 4th and 3 in the 3rd. On another drive in the 3rd. Favre. How about that throw?
Backpedaling.
Jeez, to Bubba Franks. He's the greatest. Brett, he's unbelievable. 21-3. And then Amon Green.
Well, and Amon Green, great running, but you see a number of missed tackles by the Patriots. He gets deep in their defensive secondary, runs it down almost to the 20-yard line.
Green had 136-yard rushing. The Patriots have been fired. That 12-game winning streak dating back to last year is now a 3-game losing streak for the world champion New England Patriots. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers are rolling. They are 5-1. But as for the champs, Coach Bill Belichick, disenchanted.
I wish I had an answer to it. We've emphasized that we know that this is a bad way to play. We have no chance playing like this. And right now, we're where we are, and we obviously need a pretty good overhaul on everything because there's not much good going on out there.
Well, the coach does not mince words. Once again, defensively, nobody able to step up to take charge. No impact player. As for Brett Favre, another milestone. 40,000 earlier in the week on Monday night. 300 touchdown passes and more, and counting. Brett Favre with our Sal Palantonio.
You guys are sitting pretty. You have a golden opportunity maybe to get a Super Bowl berth. Do you think about that a little bit?
Not really. You know, I think everyone's aware, and I say everyone on our team is aware of what we've done, where we stand for the most part. But I've been in it a long time, and
you're not getting any younger.
I'm not getting any younger. I mean, I don't want to sit here and beat around the bush any. I mean, I am very pleased with where we are and what we've done. But there's a lot of football left, and you know, we got a good football team. That's obvious, but we're not a great football team. And you know, and as long as we believe that and keep working the way we've been working, and guys step up, then you know, we'll see what happens. But we definitely put ourselves in a good position.
Good football team with a great quarterback, Boomer. Back to you.
Yeah, I would say that's an understatement, Sal. Those throws that Brett makes, and he's still like a little kid playing a man's game, and I think as long as he brings that there, the Green Bay Packers have a 2.5-game lead in the NFC North division, and in an NFC that seems wide open. That's what they were talking. I know it's only Columbus Day, but Tommy, they're in good shape.
I think we have to think about what we saw today, and we both know Brett and how much he loves playing the game of football. But today they're missing 5 defensive starters, so he knew that the game would be on his shoulders. He got some balance work from Amon Green, who ran for over 150 yards, but some of the throws, throwing off his back foot, rolling to his left, being able to throw against his body, it's the reason that Green Bay has a chance, no matter what happens to them, to get to the Super Bowl. And the New England Patriots have to figure out a way to do 2 things. Number 1, run the football. Number 2, stop the run. They haven't for a month now, and it's killing them.
Now, their play on both lines is not, I mean, yes, you're close to a dominating factor. But domination, we would say so, as we go inside the numbers with 3 touchdown passes today for Brett Favre. Isn't this nice and neat? He's at 40,000 yards, and he's passed your one-time teammate and future Hall of Famer John Elway. He's now 3rd on the all-time touchdown list with 301, and we show this because, look, he's done it in how many less games than John? And that's no knock on John Elway, that's for sure. He's done it in, what, 67 less games to get...
Well, Larry, the Packers' first scoring drive came in the second quarter. It had some twists and turns. Matter of fact, there was an encroachment penalty on the Patriots that the Packers accepted on 4th down that took a Ryan Longwell field goal off the board. 3 plays later, Donald Driver made a nice juggling catch on the sidelines that withstood a review.
3rd down for Green Bay, about 5 yards to go. At the New England 16 from the shotgun, receivers right and left. Snap to Favre, rushes on. Brett with time, heaves the left side. He's got Driver latching on, out of bounds at the 5-yard line of New England. He juggled it for a moment, and now the near sideline official overrules the official who made the initial call on the play and says he did not have possession going out of bounds.
Well, Mike Sherman, take us through the process. How do you decide, and your coaches, how much input do you get from your coaches upstairs as to whether to challenge a call or not?
If the coaches see the replay up in the booth, it certainly gives me a better perspective of the play. I did have a good view of that play, and the best test on that is Donald Driver saying, "Coach, I did in fact catch the football," and you have to be able to trust a player when he says that, and a guy like Donald Driver says he caught it. So he had no indecision, and so it was an easy challenge on my part.
On the next New England drive, a strange twist once again. This time, a backward pass and an alert Green Bay defense.
Fourth penalty today on the Patriots. Shotgun formation. Football back to the 17 of New England. Snap to Brady. Pump fakes right. Looks left. Sets it up to Falk, and it's through his hands. Incomplete. And boy, I tell you what, Larry, that was almost a backward pass. Almost a lateral.
It might have been because the Packers are going after it.
The Packers went after it. They cover it. No indication from the officials yet.
Coach, that was a classic case where it was close, but two players didn't give up on the play. A lot of players around them had given up on the play on both sides of the football, but it was Marcus Anderson and Kabir Baja-Biamila that stayed with it that made that play.
Well, Wayne, I don't know if they gave up on the play as much as they assumed something that they shouldn't have assumed, and they assumed that the whistle had been blown, the play was dead, it was a forward pass, incomplete. But young rookie, actually, Marcus Anderson, was the one that had the greatest sense of urgency and the greatest awareness, and he was making a beeline for that ball, and Kabir felt his presence, and he ended up diving on the football. But we should have scooped that up and scored a touchdown right there and been done with it. But fortunately, that we did become more aware than the Patriots at that point and did recover that play, which obviously resulted in a touchdown on the next play to Ahman Green.
Leading 14-3 in the third quarter, the Packers extended their advantage over the New England Patriots on an impressive 94-yard drive capped by this play to the back of the end zone.
First down and goal to go. More importantly for the Packers, far play action. Pump fakes once to those the left side of the end zone. Leaping attempt made. Bubba Franks, touchdown! Back line to the end zone. Bubba Franks, how did he stay in play?
Mike Bubba Franks, pretty athletic play at the back line of the end zone to stay inbounds and make that touchdown reception.
You know, what can you say about Bubba Franks except he just keeps getting better year after year, and he actually practice after practice, game after game. But that was vintage Bubba Franks, being productive in the red zone, but now also having 5 catches as well for the game. He's more productive in the field. I just can't say enough about what he's brought to our football team since he's been here.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Coming up, another Chalk Talk, and we'll have your questions for the coach.